Okay, so this video is going to hopefully serve as an up-to-date, that is the most important, up-to-date any percent NBS guide for console. This is for console specific. This isn't gonna apply very much to PC because the route differs. Specifically in Dreamweaver, it differs a lot. But this is gonna cover the most up-to-date world record level route for percent NBS. I'm gonna add that this is unscripted, so it is likely gonna be something that I stutter over, or that maybe I forget, maybe a small detail. Anything that I forget that I then remember will probably be added to the description, and anything that I don't show in this will also be added to the description. I think that should be. Oh, also in the description there will be my movement guide. That's the other thing that's complementary to this, because this video is mostly targeted to people who are either just picking up speedrunning this game, or people who are new to speedrunning this game and want to try out the fastest route. Because I don't think it takes too much to be able to do this route. The only issue that can arise is Dark Passage, because that is the key difference between this route and the route that was featured in Dexter's old NBS tutorial, which has since been taken down. That route did Sunny Flight, and this route does Dark Passage. That is essentially the only difference. There might be some small gem differences, but that is the only difference between those two routes, basically. Now, the old one does Sunny Flight, and this one does Dark Passage. The reason why you would maybe opt to doing Sunny Flight over Dark Passage is if you are not comfortable with your movement. Because Dark Passage, in order to save time, you need to be able to hit the cycle. And if you can't do that, you might be better off doing Sunny Flight. And the other thing that makes me recommend Sunny Flight route to beginners is the fact that you get a more lenient gem count. You do get a few extra gems from doing Sunny Flight over Dark Passage. But once you've done a few runs, once you feel comfortable with the game, you have a time that you're comfortable with Sunny Flight, it could be time for you to start doing this route, and that's what this video is for. Or if you're just starting the game, you can just do this route if you feel like just doing the fastest route and you don't really care about losing time. It's, you know, it's inevitable that you're going to lose time in some places, so you might as well just do the fastest route. So, yeah. I don't think there's too much else to talk about. This isn't going to be too in-depth, I hope. I want to do a more in-depth video talking about that would be targeted more towards people who are much more comfortable with this route and would give advice on things to start saving even more time. You know, we're kind of similar to my analysis that I did of House's former world record. I want to do one for my current world record that will hopefully be targeted towards people who are more experienced with the game, have a few more hours. But I think it's good to have just this walkthrough guide, and yeah. I'm going to be talking about gem counts, probably a lot. I'm going to talk about cycles, probably a lot. But what I would say is if you're new to the game, try not to worry too much. Just replicate anything that you see, try your best, and keep doing runs, because as long as you keep doing runs, you're always going to improve. And that's the number one key. Keep doing runs. So let's just get into it. I mean, there's not really too much else to say. The one thing I guess I can say whilst we're loading in is, if you are doing the Sunny Flight route, then what you would do here is instead of doing the route that I'm going to show, you would start by going to the dragon to the left, and then going into Sunny Flight, and then guidebooking back, and then doing the homeworld route that I'm going to show here. I'll leave a link to my last world record that I set with the Sunny Flight route in the description of this video, just to serve an example. But with this route, it's a very simple start. I mean, the first dragon is Nesta, so all you need to do is right at the start, you just start by charging, and you need to jump as you touch Nesta, because if you don't, you can't skip him, but if you do, then you can skip him. So there you go. That's the first thing you can skip in this game. And then you're gonna just start off by going to the right, make sure you hit this guy, and then you go into Stone Hill. Easy beginnings. You see, easy beginnings. I'm gonna mostly just be guiding you through the gem order, and obviously dragon order, while showcasing, you know, the strats. But I'm probably not gonna talk too much about the strats. I'm most gonna be like, do this, and I'm gonna give some slight advice on how to do it. But if you want the best advice, then that's probably gonna come in the analysis video that I make hopefully someday. But with Stonehill is where we implement a lot of what we call quick game continues. Okay, quick game strats on console are very important because they save a lot of in-game time. So yeah, essentially it's based around the fact that if you quit game and then continue into your save file, you're going to be spawned at the start of the level, and you can do that to save time traversing the level, you know, backtracking and stuff. But so in here, what we're going to do is we're going to hit this first run, and then we're going to pick up these 2 gems, turn to the right, hit this guy, and then we're going to hit this chest here, and then you pivot and you turn, hit this chest, and then you pivot back into this dragon. So all in one motion, it kind of looks like this, and then you hit the dragon, and then this is where you quit game. You skip, you pause, quit game, continue, go back into your save, and this just saves us time on the in-game timer for having to go all the way back around, basically. The next dragon we get is just right here. We're just going to jump into this, and we're going to turn as we fall. We rescue Gavin, and instead of taking the whirlwind, we're just going to quit game. We're going to continue, and it's going to put us back at the top. Whirlwinds are very slow, so being able to avoid them wherever possible is gonna, you know, it's gonna save us some time. That's the reasoning. Next dragon, we should go to the left. We're gonna hit this little ram, and then we're gonna go to the left side, pick up whatever gems you can there, hit all of the metal chests. You hit this line of metal chests, and then you turn, and you just hit this dragon. So you only need to go to the left and hit the metal chest. You can avoid all of the brown chests, you know. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna exit level. Boom! You just speedrun your first level of Spyro the Dragon Reignited. Isn't that so exciting? Oh my god, I remember when I first started speedrunning, I remember going through each level one at a time, trying to learn them. Amazing time. Anyways, we're gonna turn and we're gonna hit this guy as he's running. And then we're gonna go through here, grab all these gems, and touch this dragon. And there's no way to skip this whirlwind to go up to town square, so we're just gonna charge forwards, and you can hold charge here at the top of the whirlwind. You won't fall off. You can just hold it, and we're gonna run into town square. Very simple stuff. Nothing to even make note of, honestly. Town square is the first trick, an actual like strat. And it also can be kind of cycle dependent, but I'm gonna explain the trick, and I'm gonna say what you want to look for in the cycle. But really, when you're starting off, you don't need to worry about any of it. You just need to know what you need to do. So what you do is you want to turn, and you want to obviously go up these stairs as quick as you can. I like just, you know, obviously it's like fastest, just like hold the charge jump here, but honestly, like if you're not comfortable with that, you can honestly just do this. If you're really, you know, if you're really new, but these stairs are really easy. I'd recommend just hold charge and jump the whole time on these stairs so you can practice them. But yeah, you just want to charge jump up these stairs, and then we're gonna ignore those 2 chests because we can get them during the dragon like going away animation. And the reason why we can do that is because we need to stand back on the platform, get launched up. Okay, well, as you can see, I got a huge launch. That is not the launch that you'd want in a run, but I think that's a pretty good demonstration of what is happening. By standing back on the platform in a specific place, you get boosted up.
Hi, Spyro.
Now, if you're wondering where on this platform do you want to stand, and is it precise? First of all, it's not that precise, and there's not a timing to it. What we need to do is, as the dragon is going away, right before the fairy comes back, you want to stand on this part right here. You see this, oh, it doesn't let me. That diamond, you see? This diamond right here. You stand facing away from the wall. You stand right here, and then when the fairy pops up, you get put up there. And if you miss it, you can replay the dragon and redo it as well. Which is a fun thing. You see, you kind of get pushed a little bit. But yeah, this is what you should get. If you do it correctly, this is what you should get. You'll be standing here, and then you can just jump and glide, or you can do a charge jump. I'll show you what it looks like all in one motion. Hopefully, it doesn't give me a super launch again, but be aware that can happen. But this is what it looks like, and yeah, if you do it correctly, if you've done the start level correctly, this ball will be right here as you get here, and you'll be able to charge him. If he's not, and he's like a little bit further ahead, just feel free to flame him, and you want to hit this dragon. That's the key. That's the whole reason why we're doing this, is that we don't need to go all the way around. We can just pick the fairy and jump up here, and then we're gonna flame this this chest, facing that chest to the left there, so that it can hit. And then we're gonna charge into this chest as the fan chest is like flying over to break that chest. You charge here, and then if you do this all correctly, what will happen is you'll drop down, and you'll be able to flame that ball. And as you can see, you pick up his gem. You pick up his gem during the dragon animation. And again, if you do it correctly and you drop down here, when you drop down, if you drop down close enough to the ball that's in this corner, he will pace you. And as soon as you exit the dragon animation, you can just flame, and his gem will drop on you. Now, the reason why we want to catch the first ball before we touch the dragon is because it will stop that guy right there. And it will stop him from doing the lap around. The reason why it's a good stop him from doing lap around, because it's annoying to chase after him. And what we do is, as soon as we exit from the dragon, we're just going to charge over here. And we're going to grab these gems. As you can see, he's right here. We hit this ball. We hit this ball. We go down and to the left. Hit this chest. Rescue Devlin. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press the guidebook. Go to Artisans. Travel to Artisans. And you just did town square. You did fairy proxy. You've done 2 levels. I'm so proud of you. You're growing already. So at this point, when you're coming back here, all you need to do is just hold directly to the left. I hold left on D-pad, but you just hold directly to the left, and you rescue Delbin. And then after you rescue Delbin, you turn to the right. And you want to just jump onto this platform where you collect all these gems. You don't need to stand there, you can just do this, where you just charge through it properly. And then we're just gonna hit this guy up here, turn to the left, go through this tunnel where we only need to hit 2 of these chests, and boom. We're going to Peacekeepers. Look at that. We did all of Artisans, we got everything we needed. At this point, your gem count should say 177. Holy, I'm so good at this game. Don't be discouraged if your gem count is lower, it's completely fine. It's very easy to miss 1 or 2 red gems, or maybe a green gem slips by. Don't worry about getting too many gems in Artisans, honestly, you can always recover them later. If you have too many gems, like a little over, maybe 180 or more, then that could be a sign that you're over collecting and you're actually losing time from collecting too many gems. But again, if you're new to it, don't worry about it. It will all correct itself the more and more you do runs. So, don't worry. I'm just going to make note of gem counts at different points, just as a way of giving you like what a standard run would look like, but your run might look like, it'll look different, you might get more, you might get less, it's all good. Peacekeepers is very straightforward at the start, we're just going to run straight forward. Huh, do you see what I did there? We're going to rescue time, then we're going to go to the right, we hit this guy, and then just follow the order that I do here, hit this guy, grab these gems, and then we're going to hit 1, 2, 3 into Dry Canyon. Dry Canyon is extremely straightforward. We do not steer off, the main path at any point. So this might look very similar to what you'd expect from just casually playing through the game. Although I think maybe most people playing casually through the game might not skip as much as we skip. That's okay. First thing you do to start is, again, with the fan chest, you're going to see a theme here where we use these fan chests in order to hit tests further ahead, just to save us a tiny bit of time, or just to be a little bit efficient. As you can see, it hits that one. And what we're going to do, you can see there's a spring chest at the end there. We're just going to charge in this line here. And then as we hit this one, what we do is we do a charge jump, which again is in the movement guide, so make sure you watch that if you haven't and you don't know what charge jump is. But charge jumping is just when you hold charge and jump. But the key with the sprint is that you can charge jump into it. As you can see, the charge causes the gems pop up and the jump collects the gem. If you're not comfortable with doing that, feel free to just charge the chest and then flame and then jump. But the point is that after you jump up and collect the gem, you're going to turn here. You're going to make sure you hit everything that I'm hitting. As you can see, you're not doing anything that's out of the way. It's gonna be a theme at the start of the run, like in the early levels. You can see that you're not really going out of your way to collect anything. You're kind of just going dragon to dragon because there's a 50 dragon requirement. You need to make sure you get 50 dragons, you know. So we're mostly just getting gems that are in our way, and then in the later levels is when we start to think more about the gem count because that's where the higher value gems are. Anyways, we're just going to charge forward. We're going to hit this guy here. He will never hit you as long as you just charge in a straight line. We're going to turn to the right. And we're going to hit this bird. And then we're going to turn. We're going to hit this bird. Then we're going to flame this guy and jump up and grab his gem. Again, you can do a flame into a charge jump. Like this. And you'll grab it before it lands. But again, if you're not comfortable with your movement, just do a normal flame and jump up into it. But after you jump, you're going to want to grab these two gems here. So in a full motion, it would look something like this. Or if you're doing the flame charge jump, it would look something like maybe like this. And then you're gonna face here. If you're comfortable with your movement, you can do a booster jump right here. As you can see, you can boost jump up to the second step. If you're not comfortable with movement, then just do these jumps as normal. Go up the stairs, however you can, you know. I would recommend learning how to booster jump up these stairs just because it's so nice. It feels so smooth. It feels so smooth. It's just good. It's cool. It's cool to know how to do good movement. But if you can't, just spam glide up these, and then we're gonna hit this guy. And we're gonna go to the left and grab this dragon. Once you rescue Boris, hold directly down on the D-pad. Hold just down on the D-pad, and if you look, you see you line up with this wall, and you can just charge off of it. If you just hold down on your D-pad and just hold charge, you will be able to avoid bonking or anything. And then you're just going to hit this guy, make sure you land on these gems. Hit that. Jump up and grab this guy's gem. The big gem is a 25 gem. Gonna grab these, hit this guy, turn to the left, then you turn to the right, and you turn to the right, and then we have this jump. This is the first, I guess, kind of challenging jump. It's not too challenging, honestly. My big piece of advice with big charge jump is you're going to do a full charge jump. So make sure you fully hold down jump whilst charging. And then once you hit your peak of if you look, you see when you do a charge jump, there's like a point where you've hit, you know, your max height, you know, where you peak. When you hit your peak, that's when you want to hold glide. So you do a charge jump and then you glide. Charge jump, glide. Charge jump, glide. You just glide at your peak. If you just do that a little bit, you'll get used to the timing, you'll get used to the muscle memory. It's all very simple, honestly. You just need to give it a little bit of time, a little bit of practice. But the point is that we're going to jump from as far right as we can here. Because as you can see, this platform is further out the further right we are. As far right as we can be after hitting these chests, we're just going to charge jump, glide, and we can make it very comfortably, honestly. After we land here, we just go up, and then yeah, we've collected everything we need. That's Dry Canyon. So here you would exit level, but I'm just going to do the jump just one more time, just in case you need an extra visual example. So again, you'd hit this guy, you'd hit all these, as far right as possible, bang. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's all there is to it. You can aim for the right side of this platform as well, as you can see, but it doesn't matter too much. Keep in mind that there is a thing in this game where after 75 minutes has gone by with you being in a save inside the game, after 75 minutes goes by, your jumps are boosted. You can jump higher or stay at the peak of your jumps for longer. So if you've done a long session of attempts and you've had the game open for over an hour, this jump will be even easier. So this jump is really not something to worry about. But just practice it if you struggle with it. It's all good if you struggle with it. I struggled with it when I first started running, so I get it. But yeah. You should get a consistent 190 gems from Dry Canyon. I got an extra red, but it's all good. We're gonna turn here, and when we make it here, we're just gonna flame this group. As you can see, we flame them because if you don't flame them, they just hit you. Sometimes they will still hit you, they're very annoying. But after you flame them, you're just gonna run straight into Clifftown. It's really nothing to it. I mean, again, the earlier levels, we're just going from point A to point B with really not much in between. But yeah, Clifftown has a jump that you also might want to practice a fair amount. So this jump here it looks scarier than it actually is, but it's worth practicing because you need to get rid of the slight fear you might have. So anyways, we're just gonna start by going off to the left here, and this is where the jump is. We're gonna jump. We're gonna obviously grab these 2 gems, but we're gonna jump straight from here, and then we're gonna make the turn around, and we're gonna land around the back. So my advice is when you're coming here, or when you're charging over, make sure you're kind of, I guess, aligned with like this outside bit, like right along the outside, like as tight as you can make it. And then you're just gonna do again a charge jump, and when you hit the peak of your glide, or when you hit the peak of your charge jump, you're gonna glide around. So I'm gonna quit game just to go back to the start to show you it one more time. But it's the same idea as the Dry Canyon jump, where you do a charge jump and you glide at your peak, but instead of it being in a straight line, you need to do it around a corner. So it's kind of like this. But it's the same idea, it's the same timing. If you can do the Dry Canyon jump to get to that dragon, you can do this jump because you're doing the same thing, but instead of in a straight line, you're gliding around a corner rather than in a straight line. So I'm just going to do it again. There you go. You see? And then you would grab everything back here basically, and then you quit game, continue. I'll make a note here that the quit game continue speed in this level is much faster than in a lot of other levels. So it can catch you off guard sometimes. You might reload back into the level quicker than you expected. But yeah, again, the biggest piece of advice of all these jumps is to make sure you're gliding at the peak of your charge jump, and obviously to jump off as far off from the ledge as you can. Also you can see the shadow down there of Spyro in case you didn't know. But yeah, if you didn't know, you can jump even when you're really far off a ledge. If you look at the examples here I'm giving, as you can see, I'm really far off this ledge when I'm jumping. So keep that in mind. You can jump very late when you're going for these. If you find yourself struggling to hit these, probably it's because you're not greeting your jump enough. You can probably be jumping a lot later. And also you can like glide along the like wall, and it gives you like a little bit more time in the air. So the key advice, again, glide at the peak of your charge jump, greed the jump, jump later than you think you can, hug the left, and you should be all good. Anyways, when you quit game after doing everything around the back, you're going to charge straight forward, and there's really nothing to this. I mean, you're literally just following this like kind of straight line. You grab this chest that's a bit out of the way. When you make it here, so you hit this chest. When you jump up onto this platform, make sure you land on the left side. As you can see, I'm very far on the left of this. And the reason why you don't want to land on the right side is because when you land on the left side, it forces the thief over there to be pushed closer to that dragon. If you don't, if you land here, then he'll be like further along this way, further away from the dragon. And we want him to be close to the dragon because it's all set up. Anyways, we're gonna charge up here, and then when you make it up here, you're just gonna turn, and you want to align yourself with the corner here of this platform. You see, right that corner. And again, we have another charge jump, glide. So we're just gonna charge, jump, glide. As you can see, it's very lenient. It's very lenient, so I would not worry about it. Right before you hit that corner, you can glide, and you make it. As you can see, you can hover up, you can make it clean without hovering up. But again, just do this for a little bit. This will get you used to the timing of when you hit the peak of your jump. But once you make it up here, you're just gonna turn, and then I guess we can talk about this firework. There is actually a little bit I can say about this firework. Anyways, you hit these chests, and then you just want to do another big charge jump, hit this chest, and then there's the firework right here. Now, if you're too close, if you're too pressed up against the wall, and you jump and you flame, you will sometimes not hit the firework. As you can see, I hit the firework there, and it blows up. But if you're pressed in too close to this wall, sometimes, as you can see, your flame doesn't reach up to the top. You see, sometimes it will hit and sometimes it won't. If you're a bit further back and you jump and then start pressing forward after you jump, you'll be a lot more consistent. So my advice to this firework is to not be pressed up against the wall when you jump, but to be a little bit further away from the wall, jump, and then start holding forwards. So don't press up against the wall and hold forwards, but be a little bit further away from the wall and then jump and press forwards. And that will make it a little bit more consistent if you struggle with this. You might not struggle with this at all, in which case, ignore me. But after we hit this firework, we're just going to turn to the left, we're just going to charge jump down, and we make sure we flame. And we hit the thief. That's why we pushed him over here, because we want him to be right here, so that when we flame him, we can just turn to the right. And yeah. We're going to go to the left here. We're just going to hit this guy, grab the 2 gems behind there, and then we're going to start going up. We want to flame her, jump, grab. You want to make sure you grab her gem. I missed out the air, that's because I'm terrible. You can flame and jump and grab out the air. Then you're going to charge jump, land on the chest, flame. You go up here, hit this guy, hit his chest, hit that guy, flame. Hit these 2 strong chests, and then after you hit them, or 2 metal chests, and then after you hit them, turn around to the right and flame. Like these 2, and then you can make this charge jump across where you want to grab all those gems. And then we have magic stairs here. But if you're like me, and you're bad at the game as I've exemplified, and you struggle with magic stairs, you can take these normal, or you can take them slow, and do something like that, you know. Basically, you need to go up these stairs. The fastest way is to take the kind of wide turn and just hold charge jump the whole time. But if you struggle with it, don't worry. Get up however you can. This is the fastest way, as you can see. we're going to make sure we get really close to these two when we flame them, because we want to flame the cauldrons. As we flame them, we're going to be turning to the right so that we can hit this chest here. And then we would turn to the right and hit all of this. And then this is when we would collect the gems, and then we just hit the dragon over here.
Hey, what's on the other side of that river?
On the other side of the river, I'm going to cut him off. It's a dragon and a bunch of gems. That's why we're going over there. This jump is obviously very easy. It's intended. You just want to glide. And then, instead of going the intended way, which is to go around and go up, we're just going to run over to these two gems right here. And then, you can jump up on this rock right here. And then you can make your way up. As you can see, it's very easy. There's no trick to this at all. You can just jump on that rock. Right here. So again, you just do this. And then you can make your way to the dragon. Easy. Right after you collect the dragon, you're going to want to turn to the right, and you're going to make this jump over to that chest. Now, this jump can be tricky. Unlike the jump around the side at the beginning, this here is not so lenient. You can slip off of this very easily. But you just want to make sure you charge jump. Don't greed it too much. But just do the charge jump glide and then hit these two chests, and then we're going to drop down onto this platform where we're going to hit that chest, and then we're going to grab all the gems here, and then we're going to exit level. But I'll just show the example right now as to how easy it is to slide off here. It's deceiving. It is deceiving here. You can slip off very easily. As you can see, we're peering over the edge here, and trust me, if you're used to playing this game, this is not far off the edge at all. This is very much not lenient. So just be aware of that. Jump a tiny bit earlier than you need to. If you jump really early and you feel like you're not going to make it to the other side, then fret not, because if you're like here and you're like, oh, I can't make it, you can just go over here and land here, and then you do the rest as normal. So there is that, at least. But yeah, we exit level after grabbing the last 5 gem. You can notice already in Peacekeepers, there's a bit more to talk about. There's a lot more they can catch you off guard. Anyways, we're just gonna charge straight to this guy, and then we're gonna hit the 2 chests here, just these 2. We're gonna leave that one on the right there for later, because we're just gonna go into Shemp. And we're gonna not do Shemp. At least not for now. We're just gonna grab those gems. We're gonna grab the 2 gems right at the start of Shemp that you'll see, and then we're gonna exit level, and then we're gonna come back to it later. So yeah, as soon as you land, turn your camera to the left, hit this chest, and just exit level. You may think this is a really big waste of time, but we do Shemp in 2 parts because it makes it for a time save later on. So keep that in mind. After you leave Shemp, you're just going to turn around, you're going to hit this chest that we left there, and you may be thinking, oh well, good job mate, now you're stuck, you can't make it over to Nightflight or over to this side in general because there's a bloody rock in your way. You didn't use the cannon. But that's where you're wrong and mistaken, and a beginner and I'm the pro. Come on mate, you're watching the tutorial for a reason. You can jump right through this rock. As you can see, I'm inside the rock. Now, don't get it twisted, you can't like just walk over to Nightflight from here. But on this left side here, the rock, I'd say it probably cuts off about here. Like, if you look at like the middle of where I'm lining up with, it probably cuts off about here. But you have all of this space to work with on the rock, basically. You can just charge jump there, and then you just charge jump to the left, and then boom. You just skip the rock. No cannon. Cannon skip, if you will. And then yeah, there's the thief and the dragon here, and we're gonna just take care of this very easily. We're just gonna hit these two chests. As you can see, when you hit these two chests, he's gonna run towards the middle. All you need to do is do a charge jump, and then as you glide over to the side, you just flame, hit these two chests, grab this dragon. And yeah, I mean, you literally just do this. It's very simple. I don't think I've literally ever missed it. You grab the dragon and it's all good. And then after you grab the dragon, we guide back to Shemp. Would you look at that? We're back in Shemp. You see? You may be thinking, couldn't we have just done Shemp anyways, and then done this, and then guide back? We could have, but grabbing these two chests before doing the rest of Shemp as normal saves about a second, just because of how the movement works out. Very convenient, even though, you know, it's a little unintuitive. It is convenient that you can save time by basically changing nothing about what you would have done otherwise. So, at the start of Shemp, all we're going to do is a boosted jump right up to there. Now, if I show it, it looks really simple. It looks like there's really not much to it. That guy will always be aggroed and he will always die. And yeah, but if you heck and try to do this yourself and you try and just jump up normal, you can see it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. You can't really make it. Now you can make it if you glide, and if you're like on the very left of it and you glide, you can make it, but it's a little slow. It is a little slow. Instead, you can just do this boosted jump, and it's much faster. Now, if you struggle with boosted jumps, I understand, because if you're new, you might struggle with boosted jumps. But I'd say this is a great place to practice it. But yeah, you can do the slower kind of glide up here, or even what I used to do. I would charge here, and then I would like jump and turn back, and like do it like that. So I'd line up on here, jump and turn back, and I make up. And of course, if you don't want to do any of this, you can just go around this way and just do that. But that's much slower than they're doing something like this or doing something like this. But the whole point is that you boost jump up and then you charge this. You need to make sure that when you drop down here, you drop down like on the 5 gem. So make sure you slow down a little bit. And then yeah, we just charge through. You hit that guy. We're gonna hit everything here. And we're gonna go over and we're gonna make sure we grab everything, glide up here, and then we land up here. Now, I'm actually going to quickly go back on this because I think it's important to break down why I move in the way that I move here. Okay, so here after in this chest, I do a charge jump, a very small charge jump, before I hit this guy, because sometimes if you hit him too quickly, you will like get hit, like you will like get smacked or something, and it kills your momentum. It's very annoying. That's why I do a charge jump here before I hit him, and then I flame, grab the gem, and then here you can do one of two things. One is after you hit this first guy, you do the same charge jump to hit the second guy and then flame. Or you can do what I do, which is after you hit that guy, you turn to the left to avoid him, flame, and then that guy dies naturally. Either way, after that, you stick to the left here, you flame and charge jump to grab the gem, or do the like a small boost jump to grab the gem. Either way, you just flame and grab her gem. And now we're here. Yeah, Shemp has a lot of small different movement options. Kind of just play around with it, like do different, try out different things, see what's comfortable for you. But either way, after you flame the mama down there, you need to make sure you grab all the gems around the back and get on the whirlwind quickly because you can sometimes get hit by one of the little dudes who's chasing after you. But regardless, once you're up here, you just need to charge jump down and you drop down, you grab all these reds, but his was small little movement optimization. You're obviously going to want to grab this chest, but what you can do is you can flame it and then roll into the dragon and the gem gets picked up during the animation. How awesome. So again, you just come in, you flame, you roll. Awesome. If you don't want to do that, you can also just charge into them both, but I'm trying to give some small optimizations here. But we're going to exit. And yeah, we're kind of approaching the end of Peacekeepers soon. We should have a fight in an ice cavern. Now, I have a very long night flight guide, but that guide is for if you're really trying to optimize night flight. If you're just trying to learn the fastest night flight route, then you can learn it very quick. I think I cover it in like 10 minutes in that video. So I will leave that video linked in the description if you really want to improve at night flight. But for the sake of this video, for all of the flights, I'm just going to go through and show the route and not go into too much detail over it. Um, Eventually, I might go into a slightly more in-depth video on all of the flights, but that's a maybe, and I'm not even that good at flights. It's just a night flight. Anyways, we're gonna do the same turn and same jump up to the rock, but this time we're gonna jump up here, and then we're gonna turn to the right, and we're gonna jump over here. As you can see, you can make this jump very comfortably. It's very easy. If you're too much to the left, you can get pushed, so I'd recommend aiming for the corner, for the ledge of this rock. Either way, we jump up here. That guy always gets scared, so you don't need to worry about him. When you land on one of those gems, you can do a charge jump up to hit that spring chest, or again, you can just flame and turn, but then either way, you're going to hit this guy. Now for hitting this guy, you're going to flame, grab that, go into night flight. Again, I'm just going to very quickly just show the route that we take in night flight. There's easier night flight routes, there's safer night flight routes, but this is the fastest one. I'm just gonna quickly go for everything. The first thing is obviously you wanna grab all the rings. They're right in front of you, so why wouldn't you grab them, you know? Then we're gonna flame this. Flame, turn to the right. Flame, turn to the left. We go down after this arch. We're just gonna hit all these arches. We need to go up, then down and to the left. Flame, turn to the right. Flame, 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 and turn to the left. Night flight is very good to practice because, as you can see, there's nothing moving. It's all stationary objects. Every other flight in this game has moving parts, not night flight. So that's why I like it. After this, we're gonna go all the way down, up, left. Oh, don't do that. Right. Make that little tight turn. And then we're just going to finish off with this. And boom, 102.2. That is a very solid night flight time. You might be able to imagine that it's not that simple to do that route. There's a lot of height turns and kind of annoying bits. So again, there are easier night flight routes. You can find them from the IO leaderboards or people's older runs. My general advice for flights when you're just starting out, when you're just beginning, my general advice is don't worry about the fastest flight route. Just do a route for each flight that you are comfortable with, that you feel like you can do every time, or at least you can do consistently without failing them. Because the worst mistake you can do on a flight when you're just starting out is to fail it. Just in general, the worst mistake you can make on a flight is to fail it. So when you're starting out, just do a route that you're comfortable with. Eventually, you can always go back and learn a faster route. But for this video's sake, I'm just going to be showing all the fastest flight routes. that I do, and just yeah, that's my advice is just do what's comfortable for you when you're starting out. Either way, regardless of the route they do, when you're done, you want to click to retry the flight, because then you can guidebook back to Shemp. Would you look at that? We're going back to Shemp. The reason why I go back to Shemp is because we're going to exit level straight away, and then go straight to Ice Cavern. Going to Ice Cavern from Shemp is faster than going from Ice Cavern from Night Flight, so that's why we guidebook. We're just going to turn, make this small jump, and then go straight into Ice Cavern. I mean, Ice Cavern is also very straightforward. Don't think there's anything that's going to be too important to talk about, honestly, but we'll see. I can be proven wrong, so maybe I don't remember it as well. I haven't played this category in a few weeks. We're gonna start by going to the left, flame this guy and grab his gem. Just grab everything you see in front of you. And then as we go to touch this dragon, we're gonna touch it on the left side. Because if you touch it on like the very left side there, then you will be able to grab the gem at the back. If you touch it like right, around the front, then the red gem at the back won't get picked up. But as you see here, if you touch on the left, it does get picked up. That's why we do that. We're gonna turn and just grab that 10 gem there, drop down, hit everything like that. If you're not comfortable with doing this turn and hitting that guy as well as the 2 chests, then just try and grab at least that guy in 1 chest, or at least hit both chests, whichever one you can make work out. Just gonna do it like that. Jump up, hit these chests, and then drop down, and then just like we hit the left on the first dragon, we're gonna hit the right side on this dragon to grab the gem on the end. And that's what you do. You hit the left on the first dragon, the right on the second dragon, and it'll let you grab all of the red gems. Because right after this, we're just gonna go to the left, and you hit this chest, and there's actually something you can do here. Funnily enough, if you just hold this wall has like no collision, so if you just hold charge, you will like just be pushed off. Like this, and you can do that, but actually the fastest thing you can do is to just pivot after you hit the chest. It's just the fastest thing to do, and it feels nice to do. Either way, after you hit that guy, turn, flame this guy, grab these gems. We're gonna drop down onto the 5 gem that's right here, flame, grab that gem. Easy rescue. As you can see in this, I mean, literally everything in Ice Cavern is super straightforward. Like, there's really nothing to this level at all. So this is a pretty comfortable one, honestly. We're gonna go to the right here, flame, grab everything that we see in front of us. We're gonna make this jump here, which, I mean, it's a little bit of a gap, but if by this point you've done Dry Canyon jump, the cliff town jump around the side, even the cliff town jump up to like the chests are harder than this. So this jump should really not be an issue for you by this point. Just follow all the advice from the previous ones. And you hit that chest before you hit the dragon. Straight away, turn to the left, grab this 10 gem up here. And we need to make it up obviously over to that chest. But it's very slow to go up around all of these platforms. So after we grab this dragon, all we do... Oh, don't do that. What you do after you grab the dragon is you you grab the 10 gem and then you go straight towards the guy over here. And the reason why is because you might remember the rock in Clifftown. You can stand on this rock here. Huge. It's kind of clearly, as you can see, kind of standing on nothing, but you can stand there and then you can jump up over here. Um, it's really easy. You just do this. Don't fall like I did before. You just do this here, and then that, and then boom. Hit this guy on his left. Now you can get the left gem. And you would turn to the right, make sure you hit this. And then for this guy, you can line it up so that him and the chest are like aligned with each other. And you can hit him so that he dies on top of the chest. Very nice. You can do it so that you can kill him in one hit rather than two. So again, you just do this, and then you just do that. That's aligned. If you miss it, it's really not a big deal. My world record even misses it. It doesn't even lose that much time. It just means you have to go hit him again. But if you do it properly, then you would be here. He would be dead. You would turn. You grab those two gems. If you stick to the right side here, this is a important minute. It's not really that important, but it's just a fun thing to note to give yourself an extra gem. If you stick to the right here, that guy will be running to the right. So, I mean, it just means that you can get him free. If you are not sticking to the right, then he'll go to the side. But if you're on the right here, as you can see, we just hit, and then you can flame. What the hell? And swipe it across. That hit both the chest and him. But I mean, with these poles, if you hit them head on, you see you bonk on them. But if you hit them like a bit to the side, or I mean, it's very lenient, but basically you can hit these without bonking on them. Is what I'm trying to say, and it's very consistent. If you hit them a bit to the side, you just bounce right off them, or you just slide right off them. I mean, it's very convenient. But yeah, I mean, just hit, flame, and you grab all the gems that are in this pile, which will be 4 of them. And then you make this charge jump over here. You would go charge, flame. I think that 5 gem just disappeared, by the way. That 5 gem legit just fell through the ground. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm gonna clip that just because I've actually never seen that. But yeah, again, I'm gonna quickly just go through this jump here, or this section, but it's just hit, flame, charge jump, and then charge, and then you flame the third one, you hit the dragon, and then you grab that gem. Very easy. I mean, it kind of sucks that the 5 gem just disappeared, but it's so good. Again, this jump, if you're not comfortable with going for the jump from all the way over here, you can take the slight time loss of grabbing the gems and then turning it back and doing the jump here. Doing the jump from here is a bit easier because it's a bit more elevated. And if you're not comfortable with doing the straight charge jump again, you can glide and do that. Anyways, even though I'm missing a 5 gem, it doesn't matter. We can still exit, and then yeah, I mean, we're done with Keep Keepers. How easy. We just have to grab the final few gems, final dragon, which we do by just holding charge straight up. And then Magic Crafters. Easy. So far I've been talking for about a little under an hour. That makes sense. I've had to cover a few fairly basic things, movement-wise. And I think now that we're kind of picking up the pace, and maybe, you know, you've gone through 2 home modes now, you're probably a bit more comfortable with the movement. Some of the slightly more finicky bits, I might be able to talk through a bit quicker, but we are going to be talking about superchargers, so that'll be fun when I come back to recording this. But good job, you got through 2 home modes so far. The third one might be a little bit harder, but we'll be all good. Alright, I am back to record Magic Crafters. So, Artisans and Peacekeepers, I covered a lot of very, basic ideas, with the charge jump glides and, I guess trying to take turns a little more optimally. I guess I don't really touch on that too much, but talking about different movement options is kind of what I was talking about. Uh, and that's going to be applied a lot more in these later homeworlds. So hopefully I don't need to speak too much on those. I can kind of just showcase the route and you can figure out what you want to do. Because I've said a few of the basics now. The only thing that's really going to come up in this homeworld that I'm going to have to touch on separately is supercharging. But that's fine. We can get to that when we get to that. Yeah. So the homeworld starts with the first big thief. We just need to stick to the kind of the left, and we're just gonna flame him before he turns. That's kind of what there is to it. Since on console, you don't lose any time to the thief egg animation. Don't need to worry about skipping it or anything. So yeah, you can just do this. Then he's gonna turn straight to the right, and we're gonna hit the dragon after hitting this guy. Easy enough. We're gonna go left here, and then you turn, and then you hit these guys. And now here, this is pretty important. So we're gonna go to the right here, but as you may know, that guy over there on the right is gonna lift up a wall. We can avoid getting blocked off by that wall if we charge at that red gem and then stick to that wall. So if we go to that red gem and hug the wall, then we can basically go to where that wall is going to be raised up, and then the wall will raise us up, and we will land up there. So I'll show you what I'm talking about, and you'll see it's very simple. You see? And then we can jump up there. So all I had to do was stick to the wall after grabbing that red gem, and then we can land up here. And then all we're going to do from up here is we're going to charge jump over here, and then we're obviously going to want to hit this thief, and all you need to do to hit this thief consistently every time is to line up a little bit to the left of it. As you can see where I'm lining up, it kind of facing, facing the wall, kind of facing towards that little line in the wall that you see right in the middle, like right on Spyro's mohawk, right on Spyro's hair. You can see that line right there. We're just gonna go forwards and flame. Easy enough. Turn to the right, grab these gems, and then we're gonna go up, grab these gems before going in. We'll get to high caves. Now, high caves is very straightforward. I mean, we're just gonna go straight to the left and go up to the very top to grab the first dragon. There's gonna be a few, attacks that the enemies can do, but if you follow what I do, you should be able to avoid all of them very easily. So yeah, obviously High Caves is the first level with supercharging involved, but we're really only going to use it to do a very simple supercharge, so don't worry about it. So, we're just going to come in, flame these two guys, grab both their gems, hit this guy, flame, jump and grab his gem, hit that guy, flame, jump and grab his gem. Hug the left here. If you hug the left, you'll never get hit by that. And then we hit the dragon. If you did it all quickly enough, you'll see that the platforms kind of line up for you to be able to just go straight across. And that's perfect. That is exactly what you want. So I'll quickly go over it again. So you flame the first two guys at the start and grab their gems. Charge hit this guy. I mean, again, there's really not much to this. I mean, you just need to charge the small guys, flame the big guys. You can always avoid that bit of wind there if you stick to the left. If you hug the left, you see you always avoid that little bit of wind there. And then you turn, and at least one sheep should always be here in front of you in case you're like me and you're on blue sparks here. You always have at least one sheep that you can flame, and you'll collect the fodder as the dragon animation plays. And then so long as this first guy is kind of more towards the right, you should always be able to just glide across and flame these guys. And yeah, if you land on the green gem, then you always pick up a green gem and a red gem. Whether it's the left one or the right one, doesn't matter. So then we're here. What we're going to do is we're going to charge the ones on the right. We're going to go up here, jump across. Now the way we do the movement in this room is very simple. We're going to charge these first two. Oh, I only charge one. We're going to charge these first two. We quickly flame those two chests. You wouldn't pick up the gem, but it doesn't matter. You quickly flame those two chests, hit this one, grab that gem, and then touch the dragon. The reason why we flame the two chests there is because as soon as we exit the dragon, we can just charge across and both of those gems would pick up, and we glide over to get this dragon. Now, a key thing with the in-game timer in high caves is that the in-game timer will not continue to progress when you're being picked up by the fairies. As you can see, is at 49 seconds there. When I unpause, it's still at 49 seconds. So, what does that mean? It means we can use that to advantage to be reset at the top of the supercharge ramp, which allows us to build up a lot of supercharge speed, which is beneficial. Saves a little bit of time because we can reach a faster speed on the supercharge ramp. But yeah, all we're going to do is we're going to take this supercharge and we're just going to take it to the right. We're going to go through these two chests, and then we're going to extend it to hit at least one of those two fireworks chests. You can hit both, but as long as you hit one, you get value from it. So yeah, I'm just going to do that quickly. I'm going to go back to the top, show what it looks like, and then I'll talk only a little bit about it. But yeah, we're just going to stick to the right, try and hit both. There you go, I hit both. And then what you would do is you would stop here, and then you turn, then you'd come over here. You want to line up on this side of the fireworks chest, because when you're going to charge straight into it to bonk it, and then you're going to be pushed back and you're going to land over here. But if you missed, let's say you hit the fireworks chest that was here on the right, and you missed this one, then you would line up to bonk this one, and then during like the invincibility frames that you get right after using the firework, you would use that time to then charge into this one. So just be aware that if you miss this one here, you just charge into it and then go and charge into this one as normal. But we did this, and then yeah, we come over here, line up like that, and then we're just gonna hit all of these chests in this room. Then we can exit. Very simple stuff. You should get 254 gems every single time from high caves. There's really no variance. You might accidentally pick up an extra red gem, but it's really not a big deal. Instantly pick up this dragon, and we're going to turn to the right. Now, we're going to do this supercharge here, where I'm going to hit these two chests. I'm going to hit the one on the left. But a little, I guess, routing spoiler. We're gonna come back to high caves at a different point, where we're gonna do the same thing that we did with Shemp, where we guide back to high caves and then exit. So whether you go for the left one or the right one here doesn't matter, because you're gonna have the opportunity to get the other one afterwards. But yeah, we need to go through this. I'm just gonna quickly do the supercharge just to show you what it looks like, and then I'll talk through it a little bit more. That's it. So, all I did is, it's very simple, just hit these two chests. I stick to the left to hit that guy, You obviously want to hit that guy. He has a 25 gem, and also, you know, he raises the wall, so it's kind of we need to kill him just because he's annoying. We drop down. We hit this guy here. We're gonna hit this strong chest that's right here. Now, if you look at what I do, I stick to the left, and then as I'm approaching it, I start turning to the right. And then as I hit it, I jump around this wall, so that I can then curve back in and hit that guy. Now, when you're starting out, you may struggle with the timing of going to the left and then turning back around the right. So don't be disheartened if you mess it up and you accidentally bonk against the wall. As long as you hit the strong chest, even if you bonk into the wall, you can always just, you know, go around and kill him as normal and then run up to Wizard Peak. Because that's what we're going to. We're going to do Wizard Peak now. Obviously, you know, there's the guy there and the gems there, but don't worry, we'll get that all later. Wizard Peak is a complicated level. There are a variety of different routes that you can take in Wizard Peak. But I'm obviously just showing off the fastest route. The only exception to this is I will give a backup in case you mess up or in case you're not used to doing the supercharge in this level, because obviously this level has supercharges. I will give a backup that is much easier. It obviously loses a fair amount of time, but it'll be way more consistent if you struggle with the supercharge. I say always go for the supercharge because you might as well try. You might as well try and at least practice it, but if you can't do it, there is a backup that I will talk about. By the beginning, you know, very, very standard, we're just going to flame and charge the guys in front of us. A lot of times, that guy that I just flamed, you will get there before he even spawned in. You can flame him before he is spawned in, and it will still kill him. Now, with these guys here, you want to go for the big guy first, and then flame, and like, as you flame, turn to the right. If you turn to the right as you flame, you might hit these two guys. If you don't, then it's still putting you in a position like here where you can just go after them. But the point is that you go for the big guy first and then clear up the small guys afterwards. Then we're just going to go here, we're going to go to the right, hit all the chests. You want to hit those two druids before going for the big guy. So I hit the two guys, and then you go for the big guy, and then we go to the dragon. So this is kind of where things can get complicated, where things can alternate. I remember when I was first running that I used to do much slower Wizard Peak. It was a lot safer, and I was much more comfortable with it. But again, I'm showing what's fastest. Feel free to look at runs from runners who are a bit lower down on the boards to see what they do, see if maybe you can find more comfort in those, or even go through top runners' older runs, see the strats that they used to do. But I'm just going to show what is done currently, which is stick the supercharge, and we're going to hit these two guys first, 1, 2, and then we stop the supercharge right about here. We turn, and I'm going to hit those two turn chests. Oh, I didn't realize the game froze. That's my fault. Let me quickly fix that. Don't worry. Super professional tutorial, by the way. So I can still talk whilst I'm doing this. Okay, we're back. Sorry. I'm not even gonna cut that out, we're just gonna keep it in. We're just gonna hit these two fan chests, and then I'm gonna turn to the right. I can't hit that guy, but we're gonna turn to the right, and then we're gonna do a supercharge that can be extended all the way till the end of the run. All the way till the end. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it all in one go, and then after I do it, I'll show the alternate backup, and I'll talk through it. But I just need to do it. We do this turnaround here. And then we just extend the supercharge all the way to the end. I got a little bit of a slowdown, as you can see. But even when you get a slowdown, you can see it still takes you all the way to the end, all the way up to Lucas. And there's a reason why the supercharge is up to the end of this level called Lucas Hill. Because you do it to get up to Lucas. Yeah, as you can see, I got a bit of a slowdown right here. It's very common if you're trying to hit all of these fan chests, or the spring chest, sorry. It's very common to get a slowdown like right here. Because it's kind of like a finicky little corner, but if you want to avoid it, you can just hit the first two and then start going more to the left. You do miss out on the 5 gem here, but sometimes it can be worth to just play it safer for the time save. But as you can see, yeah, like all the gems on this side, all the guys, we got them. And what you would do is straight afterwards, you would just drop down and flame this guy. Turn to the left. Oh, don't do that. You turn to the left and grab the gems and hit this guy, and then jump down and grab this dragon here. And yeah, as you can see, everything's cleared out. Now, obviously, that looked pretty tough, you know. If I go back and show it again, there's a lot that goes on. I'll try and break it down a little bit. So we hit those two. We're gonna hit this first guy and then turn to the right. I line up typically with the first big guy that you see, and then I start turning. I just start turning when I feel like I'm gonna make it past the dragon. But if you need a visual cue for when to start turning, I'd say when the dragon on the right of your screen goes away, that's a pretty good sign that you're far enough that you can start turning, as you can see. We hit the strong chest, clean up those two guys, and what I do here is I start to aim more towards the left of the platform so that I can turn. Oh, bro. Same issues again with capture card. All good though, I'll just reset. But as you can see, I'm aiming more to the left of where the platform is gonna be. In fact, I can show it now. I'm aiming more to the left, and that way, as I approach the platform, I can start turning to the right, start cutting inside. Now, I actually really messed this up, and as you can see, I missed the spring chest with the 5 gem and the 10 gem, and I only got one of them. So I just missed 15 gems there, but you can imagine you get a lot of gems. You know, you hit 2 10 gems and a 5 gem. That you get 25 gems from that. And then you can extend the supercharge all the way over here, where you hit those 2 chests, clean up everything here. And my biggest piece of advice for this section right here, my biggest piece of advice is just try and hit everything. I know that sounds very obvious, but with some sections, you can kind of feel free to sacrifice a few gems for like the sake of taking the best line. But honestly, if the best line is the one where you aim for everything. If you aim for everything, you are likely to do it correct. You're likely to not like bonk or make any mistakes. If you start to try and deviate to feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe stay away from the wall, you're more likely to make a mistake. So honestly, just stick to the left wall here, try and hit everything. Hit this guy. Again, as I said before, you can jump earlier here than I do to avoid the slowdown. But as you can see, I'm really leaning into the wall, and that's when you can get the slowdown. But either way, what I do here when I hit this last guy is I do a glide cancel. So as you can see, I hit him, and then I jump, and then I start my glide, and then I cancel it. Instantly turn into a dragon. If you're uncomfortable with doing glide cancels at high speed, you can opt to just charge into the wall As you can see here, you could just turn into the right, bonk into the wall, and then you could grab the dragon. But if you're wondering why I went back to the start of the level, well, because I want to show some alternate routes, but with the enemies there. So, what can you do differently that can make that easier? Well, first things first, we could do a route, we could do something like this, where we do this at the beginning with the turnaround, and then once we get up here, we just bonk into this wall. Now, this is good, one, because you still do the beginning part where you hit the strong chest, you clear all the enemies, all of that's very fast. And then what you would do is you'd clear up everything that's on this island, and then you would just charge jump and glide over. Now, you could opt to get the thief around the back with the 15 gems. That is an option, in which case you would then avoid going for either the thief here at the end of the level, or you could opt to avoid going for the thief in the second thief in the Magic Crafter's homeworld. Instead of getting that thief, you go straight to High Caves and grab the thief around the back here, but honestly, I don't think it's worth going for that thief. I think you're better off grabbing all the thieves that I show in this video. But yeah, you glide across here, you obviously flame this guy, and then you would continue along this path as normal. Where you go up, you do all this, and then you touch. That is an option. That is an option. You can cut the supercharge in half and just bonk at the very top. It kind of saves you doing the finicky kind of turn on the platform, trying to collect all the gems there. That option is very good if you're trying to try new things with the supercharge and you want a consistent gem count. You will consistently get more gems if you do that version of it. You consistently get about 20 to 30 more gems. Now, the other option you can take is two-parted. Is much safer than both options, but is slower. And I would not recommend doing this. Even if you're starting off, I would not recommend this. I'd recommend doing the one I just showed, but it is an option that you should be aware of, which is that you can do the beginning as normal here, and then you can do a supercharge where you clear up some of those enemies, you hit this, you clear up everything up here, and then you would grab the gems back here and get that thief instead of the homeworld one. But since you die and you respawn here, what you would do is then you would do a supercharge like this, where you hit the chest here and then you try and do like a full extended supercharge all the way up here. So it's basically like you're doing the optimal one, but in two parts. And the reason why I don't recommend it is because you're better off just doing the full supercharge. Like, I know that sounds obvious, but this version is not that much easier than just doing the full supercharge. So I'd recommend you either do the full supercharge, or if you're new to the game, do the one where you stop at the top of the platform. So those are my recommendations. Is that. Yeah. Either way, after you get Lucas, you just exit level. I feel like that was quite like a long-winded way to just say do the fastest strat. But obviously, not everyone. Oh, sorry. I even messed this up. You're not meant to exit level, sorry. I'm very sorry. After you collect the last dragon, you guidebook back to High Caves. I was too caught up trying to explain routes, I completely forgot the route. But yeah, after you collect the Lost Dragon, you go back to High Cave, sorry, and then you're gonna exit level. I kind of got a bit ahead of myself, sorry. But yeah. The reason why I feel like it's important to talk about the different Wizard Peak routes is because the Wizard Peak Supercharge is very annoying. It's very easy to lose a lot of time to it, and knowing that that second alternate route exists is it's very important. It's really not even an alternate route. It's just a backup. If you go for the fastest supercharge and you mess up and you bonk at the top of that platform, you can do the backup where you just clean up the island and just glide over to the end. And I feel like it's important to show that that third supercharge is not worth it because instead of doing it in two parts like people used to do or some runners do, you can just do the full supercharge and do the backup. That's the point that I've been trying to get across. Anyways, after you guide back to High Caves and then exit level, we're gonna be going to Alpine. Let's go to Alpine. We can do a supercharge to Alpine. This is probably another one where I'm just gonna do the supercharge and then talk about it afterwards. But yeah, because it's really not difficult, but it's best to it's best with all supercharges I think to show it and then explain it. So anyways, you just go here, you hit this guy, you hit the 2 spring chest, you hit that guy, turn to hit the fan chest, then you hit the chest as you go in. Again, it's really not complicated, but I'll break it down. With this guy, you can just hit him wherever. You don't need to hit him to the right to make the turn. No, just hit him wherever, and then as soon as you hit him, start turning into the spring chest. As you're hitting the spring chest, start turning to the right quite early to make sure that you can hit this guy, and then you just hit the fan chest. So easy. That's all there is to it. Practice that, and you'll realize that it's very easy as well. Anyways, in the level itself, the first thing to note is that guy right there is one of the few enemies in this game where even though you charge him, his gem will not auto-collect. You have to pick up his gem manually as if you had flamed him. So that means that what we're going to do here is we're going to flame this guy, grab his gem, and then charge this guy and let his gem drop onto us. Then we're going to turn around, flame this guy, and instead of going for the guy straight ahead of us, we're actually going to jump on the platform here. Because if you do the start correctly, it should align like that. If it doesn't, if you're a bit slower, then obviously just go ahead and charge into that guy that's right over there. But if you do it correctly, it should align where the platform is on the left side. When we're here, we're just going to want to collect these 2 chests. Obviously, the fastest way is to just double charge jump into them, but just flame them if you need to. It's all good. And then again, if you've done everything correctly, this will line up so that you can just go up here. You can even ignore that guy, hit all these chests, hit this fan chest. It will sometimes kill that guy, it sometimes won't. And then we're just gonna grab some of the gems here, just charge through the pile and grab what you can. Follow what I did basically, where you just go along the pile, clear up this platform. Jump across, hit these chests. I like to charge the 2 on the right and then flame the left one, but you can clear that up however you can. And then hit the 2 chests on the left, and then clear up the side on the right. And then a fun little thing you can do here: if you hit these chests on the left and then flame that guy, his gem will collect during the dragon cutscene. His gem and a red gem will both collect during the dragon cutscene, as you can see. Awesome. We're going to charge this guy and hit the 2 chests on the left, then turn and hit the 2 chests on the right, jump up. Sometimes that guy will be walking down the right side and you can hit him, but I didn't get that lucky. We're going to come here, flame that guy, drop down, flame this guy, grab the gem behind him, flame this guy. Sometimes you'll get really unlucky and you'll flame him, and as you're charging towards hitting this fireworks chest, you accidentally flame the fireworks chest, and you have to wait. But it doesn't happen that often. If you do things correctly, you should just flame that guy and then charge into the fireworks chest. We go back up the stairs, grab the guy's gem from who we flamed earlier. Come over here, flame this. We're gonna just go up these stairs and make sure you charge that guy. Hit all the chests right here, and grab this dragon. Now, from this dragon, I like to turn and instantly flame, and then I like to pick up the gems that drop, and then we're just gonna charge, jump, glide across. And we're just gonna flame these two chests. Oh, I flamed the wrong chest. We flamed these two chests, that first one and this one. And then we roll into the dragon and the two gems pick up during the dragon animation. And then we can just guidebook out to high caves again. See how much quicker we can get through these levels when I don't have to explain anything. All I had to explain was just basically just go in a straight line to the end of the level. It's so awesome. No supercharge, no nothing. We're just gonna exit level from high caves. Yeah. I do apologize for waffling on so long about Wizard Peak, but Wizard Peak and Treetops are two levels where there's so many different possible alternate routes that even though in this video I'm only trying to talk about the fastest possible route, even for beginners, I still feel like it would be a disservice to not show the different options. I feel like it would be leaving out a lot of information. So, um, the Wizard Peak and Treetops, which will be obviously in the next time, I am gonna talk more on those levels than probably what, you know, all the other levels basically. But upcoming next is a flight. Now, if you remember, we hit the guy on the left on the first go around, so now this time we're gonna hit the guy on the right. And now we're gonna go hit this, and we're gonna go around the back side to pick up these gems, and then we're gonna go into Crystal Flight. The reason why we don't get the dragon there outside of Crystal Flight is because we get him on the way out. When we exit Crystal Flight, we grab him. Easy. Again with flights, as I said, I'm really not gonna be doing too much of an analysis. I'm just gonna be showing the route. But we just want to charge and drop down, hit at the start and turn around, hit these two planes, then charge around again. Hit the planes here. They're all pretty straightforward. I will say, if you miss any planes, it's typically fine. But the further towards the back that you miss them, like for example, if you miss the first plane, it's a pretty big time loss. If you miss the last plane, then it's not that big of a time loss because you can recover it more easily. Because the planes will be around this section right here that's coming up. But yeah, I mean, just follow the path that I'm doing basically. There's really nothing difficult about Crystal. I mean, I did just miss that, but just ignore that. You just follow this path here. There's really nothing too difficult about Crystal Flight after you do the first bit. And yeah. I'm gonna retry this quickly just because there's one thing I should say about Crystal Flight, and that is the very start. That little turnaround bit at the start can be very annoying. I remember finding it so annoying when I was first doing runs because it's kind of tough to do that, like charge out the air and turn around when you can't see where the first arch is. But honestly, my best advice with every flight is to just practice it and practice it and practice it until you get comfortable with them. Trust me, you'll thank yourself so much when you start to practice flights. I know it's boring, I know flight practice is so boring, you just want to be able to do all the other fun levels with the superchargers and stuff, but trust me, flights are so important to your runs. Oh my freaking god, I keep accidentally like making like fucking up this touch card shit and the audio goes crazy and freezing, but anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, you will thank yourself so much for putting in effort into flights. I know it's boring, but again, it's so worth it. Um But yeah, the biggest advice I can give is I know some people like to just instantly like press triangle to do like a hover here, like right at the start, but I always found that to be so like kind of I don't know, just like a little bit finicky, I guess. And I always prefer to just do like a charge. The reason why, in case you didn't know, in Spyro 1, if you press triangle to cancel your glide during a flight, there's like a really long period of time where you can't reinitiate a glide. So I find it much easier to just charge here, and then you can press glide whenever you want, basically. It feels way more responsive. Um, but yeah, just charge, turn, glide, and you'll get used to it. Anyways, when you finish the flight, you obviously quit out. I have way more gems than necessary because of the Wizard Peak showcase I did, but as you can see, you instantly pick up Boulder as you exit from here. You just skip him, and then you want to guide back to Wizard Peak. Now, from Wizard Peak, there's a few different routing options that you can take to go towards Blowhard. It kind of depends on what your gem count looks like, but just for consistency, I'm just going to show like the like what you would do like in a standard run. So we're going to turn, and we're going to instantly charge this guy, and then we're going to quickly turn to the left and grab the spring chest. So it looks like this. You see? Very simple movement, but it feels really nice. You just charge, flame, and jump into him. And as you can see, as you flame and jump, I'm turning to the side here. And as we turn to the side, we land, and we're gonna charge down and hit this guy. I know he hit me there, but trust me, in an actual run, when you're doing it all in one segment, he never hits you. If you're worried about him hitting you, do a small little charge jump, and he will miss you 1000% of the time. But really, don't worry about it. It's just because he's kind of out of position because I was explaining things. But after you hit this guy, you want to charge a bit to the right because we're going to drop down here and land so that we can turn and hit the chests that are down there. So it's like kind of like this. Then we hit that guy, and then we're just going to jump up on the platform, bang, bang, bang. Then we go in and we do Blowhard. I'm just going to grab Gold Spark because I personally think it's best to do Blowhard with Gold Sparks. Because there are two different fireworks chests that we need to hit. And you're going to end the level on green sparks. If you go in with blue sparks, it means you're going to end the level with no sparks. So as you can see, I have like almost 2,900 gems here, but on a standard run, you should have about 2,830, 2,820. So just keep that in mind. 2,820 gems going into Blowhard is very solid. So right at the start, we're just gonna turn to the right here and flame, and then we're gonna charge through here. We're gonna hit this guy. The more like you stick to the right, the less likely he is to hit you. So if you practice Blowhard and you feel like this guy at the start is hitting you a lot, try and stick a bit more to the right after playing those chests. But what we're going to do is we're going to obviously grab these two spring chests. I like to do that double charge there, but if you struggle with it, just flame both of them, it's okay. When you're just starting out with the game, do not worry about hitting the best Blowhard cycles. Just worry about finishing the level. That's just kind of general advice, but it's very important for Blowhard because the better and better you get at the game, the more important hitting the best Blowhard cycle is. But when you're just starting out, just try and finish the level consistently. Don't worry about trying to get the fastest cycles. There's other points that you need to worry about more, like avoiding like unintentional deaths, you know. So don't worry about cycles. And that's not just for Blowhard, that's for every other level, like Alpine and I guess even High Caves, those cycles, and Terrace Village coming up. But yeah, this is the first fireworks chest that we're gonna bonk in this level. I like to do it so that I hit the right side of it. So I like to do it like this. And as you can see, it kind of pushes. If you do it at the right angle, it pushes you like kind of closer towards where you need to go. It's very convenient. But we're just gonna jump up and then we're gonna hit all these guys. I like to go guy, chest, guy, but you can go like both guys and then go to the chest, or you can go like you can do whatever order you want. But the point is that you want to hit those. I like to go for the guys quick because you don't want to get hit by them. If you get hit in blowhard, it can really throw you off. But again, if you're beginning, the best advice: don't panic. Just try and get through the level without dying. It's very easy to die in blowhard. Try and get through the level without dying, and you're already doing a good job. After hitting these two, I then turn to the right, hit this chest, and then obviously we're going to hit this chest here and go for those guys there. Now, I like to do the order of killing both guys as quickly as I can. A lot of the times they will line up like right next to each other, so it's perfect. Sometimes they won't. So we'll see the order that they give me here. Yeah, as you can see, that was very good. They both lined up next to each other, and I was able to hit them both quickly. But I'm gonna just go back just to say one quick thing, which is um a lot of the times one of these two guys will be ready to shoot you as you're dropping down. It can be tempting to try and like go like left and right to try and avoid them. But in my personal opinion, it can really throw off your movement and it can really like it can really ruin your movement, honestly. It can really mess with you. The best advice I can give is if you have the time, charge into both. If you if you just don't feel like you have the time, just flame them both or flame them like before they hit you. And then with the spring chest, obviously I like to charge jump into them, but again, you can just flame and jump into them as I do with the second one. I like to flame and jump into that one so that I can then land on this platform. And the reason why is because we're going to quickly turn, and we're going to hit both of these guys, and then flame. So, I'm gonna actually quit game so I can redo this first section all in one swift movement, I guess. Obviously the gems won't be there, but you'll get the same idea where it's a lot of this, and then you hit that, and be like this. You'd be like that. You see, he can hit you. They can hit you as you're preparing to go to them. If you hear them charge up something, you can flame as you're getting to them. Sometimes you just have to tank the hit like I do here. But either way, you flame this guy, and then you're going to go over here. And as you can see, this is where cycles matter in Blowhard. Because what we're going to do is we're going to charge jump over to this guy and flame him. And then we're going to land on this platform. And if you've done everything correctly, the cycle will line up so that the platform is lowered when you get here. If you've done it incorrectly, then the platform will not line up. But again, don't worry about this unless you're fairly comfortable with the game, you experience with the game. I wouldn't worry about it. Anyways, all we need to do here, we can do something very cool. Obviously the normal standard way is you would just jump on the platform, you wait, and then you flame him. And then obviously you would go up and finish the rest. But you can do something really cool here. If you're comfortable with boosted jumping, you can do this. Look at that. That saves you. Sorry, I got like a small like hiccup or something. that saves you a little bit of time for not having to wait for the platform to rise up with you on it. Because yeah, if you're comfortable boost jumping, you can literally just boost a jump up and flame him. And that's so perfect. But again, if you're not comfortable with it, just jump on the platform and then flame it as you get up there. Either way, you just want to go over here, grab all the chests in the dragon room, collect the dragon. And then here at the end, I mean, there's really nothing to add. You just wanna grab everything that you see in front of you. That's a little bit of movement there, I guess. Is if you get here and this platform is like pushed further back here, then you can like flame before you charge jump, and it extends your flame so that it hits the guy there, which I think is a pretty cool little bit of movement. But overall, you know, you just want to grab everything here. Even if it feels kind of clunky, trust me, it's better for your movement to be clunky here than it is for you to drop down there and die. Like, I'd much rather people like avoid this, you know. Avoiding trying to do something there where like you're trying to go too fast and you fall down. Avoid that. Like, if your movement's clunky, it's clunky, you know. It's okay. Something like that is obviously fun. But if you get here and your movement looks like this, and you're like taking it really slow, trust me, you would much prefer that than taking a death. Either way, go to the left, claim all of these, jump up, claim this guy, grab his 10 gem. Then we're gonna quickly bonk that firework chest, claim both of those gems. I missed one, but it's whatever. And then grab all the stuff here. The reason why I did that part quicker is because once you flame that guy over there, once you flame Blowhard when he's over there, you're kind of on a bit of a timer. And the timer is basically that he's gonna do his first attack here, and if you let him do it, he's then gonna come over like up here, and then you're gonna lose so much time because you have to jump up here and then flame him. So that's why try and do all this quickly where you fall here, you hit the chest, and then you flame these and you go like that. Because if you get here quick, you save a lot more time than if you mess it up and then you have to recover it. But that's it, you can just exit level once he drops his gem. You don't need to go to the vortex or anything. And yeah, that's Magic Crafters. I even collected an extra egg just from showcasing Wizard Peak different routes, but you know, you only need the 5 eggs. And yeah, you're completely on track with dragons at this point. If you're literally like anything over like 3,200, like anything over 3,200 gems by this point, you should be good. Anything over like 3,215 and you're like really comfortable. But yeah, we're gonna start by going to Terrace, where we're gonna hit these 2 chests first. I actually missed one. We're gonna hit these 2 chests first, and then we're gonna do a jump, turn around here. Again, by this point in the run, you've done the Cliff Town jump at the start. Like, you can do this, you know. At this point, you're not even worried. And there's much less pressure on this one. Like, if you mess up the Cliff Town turnaround jump, you die. If you mess up this one, you land in the water and you can just jump back up. But then we're gonna get both the spring chests and we're gonna go into Terrace. Terrace is like Blowhard, very cycle based, but again, my advice with cycles when you're first learning the game is don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry about cycles. Just grab all the gems that you see me grab the dragons, and you might get a good time, you might get a bad time. But as long as you can do it consistently without dying, then that's what matters, because it's what you want when you're starting out. You want to be able to not die. Awesome. So, the start is very straightforward. You just want to grab all the gems that I grab, which is this guy, and then you want to hit just small guy, not the big guy. Hit that big guy. That guy, you want to flame much earlier than most other guys, because he will hit you. He will hit you if you take too long to flame him. So do feel free to flame him earlier than you'd expect. Click to the right here, grab all the chests obviously, and you just want to finish off with these guys, pause, and then we're going to grab the dragon, Lord. Now, we jump up over here, like sometimes the platform won't be electrocuted, but it's always good habit to jump over it, just in case. We flame the firework, hit this guy, grab these two chests, and now you have an option. Option number one, the safe option, is to take the jump from this side over to that side. Again, you've done, by this point in the run, you've done tougher jumps, you know, or jumps of similar difficulty. This is very simple. It's just another case where you do a full charge jump and glide at the peak, and then you would go up the stairs, obviously. I mean, you can even do the boost jump up here, but whichever way, you know, go up the stairs, and then you can ignore those gems, and then you start the cleanup over here, and then we go for the rest of the level. But there is a faster strat, and it involves this torch. I cannot tell you how much I hate this torch. This torch, I hate it. I need to make an actual tutorial for this torch, and if I do make one, I will link it. But the quick summary of it is, if you align yourself similar to what I have done here, if you look, there's basically a small gap between my right horn and like Spyro's like mohawk. There's a small gap between that, or like in the space between them. That's like where I line the torch, kind of. You see how like the tip of my right horn is to the right of the torch, you know, and my mohawk is to the left of the torch. You kind of understand? It's very difficult to explain, but the point is that if your camera looks something like this when you line up, you can do a full jump, okay? You then hold forwards and glide, and then as you glide, you need to hold back on the left stick, and it should look something like this. And then once you're up here, you can do a charge jump over, and then you skip doing the jump over there and going all the way around. So I think it's clear to see why this saves time, because you save doing all of this. You save doing all of this and replace it with just one jump. Now, why do I hate this torch? It's because it feels so inconsistent. And you need to do it quickly for it to save time. Because again, if you do the movement here, this is all very simple. There's no hesitation there. There's so much hesitation when it comes to torch jump, because you need to align it properly, because otherwise you get this. So let me show you what it looks like when torch jump goes wrong. You get something like that. You get something like that where you hold back too early and then you like hover off of it. Or if you're too much to the right, you see you glide past it. Or sorry, if you're too much to the side of the torch, then you glide past it. If you're too like head on with the torch, then obviously you just bonk and you can't make it up. So too much to the side, you glide. Too head on, you bonk. If you don't pull back on the left stick, then you just hover over it. If you pull back on the left stick too early, then you hover away from it. So it's very finicky, and again, obviously when you're starting with every top trick, feel free to practice them feel free to try and get a small understanding, get a feel of how it works. Maybe you might like pick up on this really quickly. But my recommendation, of course, with beginners is to just do the more consistent thing and do the jump. But once you start to maybe get more comfortable with this run, maybe you start to feel like you want to save some more time. This jump saves 5 seconds, which might sound small if you're starting out, but it is huge when you're more experienced with the game. Yeah, feel free to practice. Feel free to practice this. Honestly, it's so annoying. Even with me, when I'm grinding for world record, this is easily one of the strats that kills the majority of my runs. I typically tell myself that my NBS runs only start in Beastmakers because it has so many run killers, so many points in Beastmakers where it's so easy to lose a lot of time. So don't get frustrated with yourself if you can't do this. Take the more consistent strat. But yeah, either way, you get up here with either strat, and then you hit these 3 chests. You're gonna jump up here, flame this firework, hit these 2 chests, hit the spring chest obviously, and then you charge down. Make sure you go for that platform obviously when it's not shot. And then we're just gonna hit this guy. You don't need to grab every single gem. My advice is to clean up all the 5 gems. So once you've grabbed all 4 5 gems in that pile, feel free to ignore the rest. Then you can just, go through all of this as normal. And obviously the thing to watch out for is that you don't get shot like that, which can happen. But there's really nothing to that. You just need to get through. You just need to get through this. That's what there is to it. And then you grab the dragon. We're gonna go to the left. Same thing here. Avoid getting shocked. Throw up these guys, and then we're gonna drop down to the left. Flame, flame, drop down. We hit this chest. Flame. If you stick to the right here, okay. If you're too much to the left, these guys will all spread out to their positions. If you stick to the right, not only do you grab a few extra of those red gems, but also they stay in this like straight line. Super convenient. And then you exit level. So, time for a level that I'm sure a lot of people dread learning. And it's Misty Bog. But I'm here to tell you, Misty Bog is not as scary as it might seem. I know there's a lot of enemies that feel like they can be very scary. Spyro is a horror game, but I'm here to guide you. Before we do that, we click Bruno. We then want to turn to the left, obviously, and we're gonna go and we're gonna glide past the first fireworks chest. We glide past the first fireworks chest and we align ourselves kind of almost like head on with the second one. I'm stuck. I've literally never seen this. How have 2 things that I've never seen happen before happened when recording this? Okay, either way, I have the position so it doesn't matter. But you can see head on with the fireworks chest, we just bonk it, and then as you can see with the invincibility frames they get after bonking a fireworks chest, we charge through the first one, and then we pick up the gem that comes from the third one. With this guy here, if you just charge jump off, as you can see, he dies. And then we're going to pick up these gems, and then we're going to walk into Misty Bog. So yeah, I should actually show that properly. That with this ball here, if you charge jump at like close to the last second off of his platform when he's chasing you, he just dies. I don't know why, but he dies and he gives you his gem. So feel free to do that instead of waiting and flaming him. Now, with Misty Bog, this is not necessary, but we start, spoiler, we start Misty Bog by taking damage, and so I recommend for console runners, first thing in Misty Bog, pause, quit game, continue to reset your sparks level to gold, because if you don't, then you're going to do all of Misty Bog with only green sparks, and compared to quit game continue where you can do all of Misty Bog with blue sparks, which is much more comfortable. We start by going around the back and hitting this guy and grabbing these gems. Now this is where the magic can meant, because we need to get over to the dragon over there. And the only way to do that is by charge jumping over here, gliding, and then landing on this rock. And yeah, as you can see, we start by taking damage. You may be thinking, why would you want to start this off by taking damage? It's so many enemies, so many things that can kill you. Well, there's no faster route. So feel free to try and figure out a faster route that doesn't involve taking damage right at the start, but you will be hard pressed to find one. There's multiple ways to approach this upcoming section, but again, I'm just showing the way that I find comfortable. Look at other runners, see what's most comfortable for you. But I like to charge here, grab the spring chest and flame as I drop down, hit that guy, and hit this guy, and then we go up and we collect this dragon. As you can see, I took a hit by that guy, and that's because I wasn't going fast enough. I simply was not going fast enough. So there's your warning, go fast. If you want to avoid taking damage in Misty Bog, go fast. I'll show you what it looks like when it's normal and I'm not hesitating. You see, it looks like this, and then he's not even that close to me. Now, the key thing here is that both boars will chase you, but only one of them can get to you if you go for the spring chest first. So that's why you go for the spring chest first. Because you land up here, and then you drop down. Even if you drop down here, and you don't like the charge jump, spring chest, if you just flame the spring chest, and then turn to the right and flame the boar, you still do it in time. The point is that you hit the spring chest, and then you turn to the right and start flaming, and you always hit him. And there's the boar to your right, but he can't get to you in time. If you just charge this guy and then go for the next guy. That's why I do what I do. But again, you can watch other runs, you can see what they do. There are some slightly different approaches. We rescue Bubba. I was going to try and think of a way to make a joke about, you know, oh, he's the 43rd dragon in the run, but if you search up Bubba Rule 34, you might find something more. I don't know. I couldn't think, like switching like the 4 and the 3, and then about Bubba, how people Google Bubba Rule 34 from Spyro Reignited, and you might find something you like. Turn to the right. We hit these two chests, and we're going to just charge jump over to this platform, and we're going to go up these steps. Very simple. We obviously hit these chests, get both of these spring chests. Also, yes, I do that a lot, where you flame and it hits both spring chests, and then you can glide, cancel to get both gems. I would recommend getting used to that because it's very fun to do and it saves a little bit of time every time you do it. So, something that's fun and saves time, why not, you know? Anyways, we're going to then charge jump over here, or charge jump into a glide over here. We're going to charge in a straight line through these guys. Go up, hit those free chests, and then with these free fan chests you can do a fun little thing where you spin your flame. You see, you do like that. You just start facing one way and then you go right, left, right, left, right, left. And you can hit all three at the same time. They can be a bit annoying. You might only hit 2 of them at a time, but hey, if you were to flame all 3 of those 3 times individually, it would be so slow. If you can even save just a few flames from going left, right, then you're already saving time. Just take what you can get. Either way, when they pop out, you obviously just want to grab them, and then we're going to do this jump here. I know this jump might look scary, but we're going to jump and we're going to glide across the right side of it. If you're uncomfortable doing this glide, you can glide over to where that life chest is, and it's much safer. But trust me, doing this is very safe, even though it might look scary. But we get here and then we start charging these, and then, oh no, these frogs are so scary. Trust me, these frogs are not scary. Now, if you're playing on PC at an FPS higher than 30, they can be scary because they hit you very quickly. But if you're playing at 30 FPS, you're playing on console, which is at 30 FPS, you can just charge through these guys. They don't hit you in time as long as you charge directly through them in the middle. But yeah, you just charge. You can see they don't hit you in time. That guy likes to line up with these chests a lot of the time. He might hit you. If you see this frog in a position where you can't charge straight through him, where you'd have to turn, he's probably going to hit you. So what do? Instead of just charging and taking a hit, you flame. Boom! I just solved all of your Misty Bog problems. If the frog is in a position where you can charge in a straight line to hit it, charge in a straight line to hit it. If the frog is in a position that requires you to take a turn and you might not be able to hit him, then flame him instead. Boom, I just solved all of your problems. Anyways, after going through this line of chests, we go to these fan chests, where again you can flame 2 of them at the same time, very useful. Grab all the gems here, and then we're going to turn around. Depending on how that first section went, there will either be 2 frogs that you killed, like I did, or there will only be 1 because the second one might not have been in position for you to flame him or charge him. Either way, just clean up the frogs that are in this area. So for me, there's only 2 of them, so I'm just going to charge into both of them, and then we're going to turn to the side, flame, flame, pick up these gems, flame, grab the dragon. Easy! You see how easy that was? Please, don't be scared of Misty Bog. Please don't be scared of Misty Bog. Just take your time if you need to, and make sure you hit everything. Please don't be scared of Misty Bog. I promise you Misty Bog is not a level to worry about. Turn to the right. Flame. He kinda just ignored my flame, but it's all good. But we flame the ball before we hit the guy. Because we want to get rid of the ball because he kind of moves a bit weirdly. Either way, we charge jump glide over here. Charge. Hit all these guys, and then we're just gonna hit this chest. Clean up those 3 chests. Then we're just gonna jump up, down. We're gonna land next to these 2 spring chests. Again, look at this. You can flame both of them. Huge. But yeah, just get those 2 spring chests. Hit this chest. You can ignore everything on the left there. And then boom. You're done with Misty Bog. How awesome was that? How quick was that as well? If you go through all that in one smooth level, no pauses like I'm doing, it feels so quick. This ball just dies. If you were wondering why we didn't flame this ball before going into the Misty Bog, it's because he just dies. When you exit Misty Bog, he's just dead. And he gives you his gem. Appreciate that, mate. Either way, we're gonna ignore this dragon for now because we're gonna go around the side here and we're gonna flame the ball here with 10 gem. Then we're gonna go inside the hut, hit every single chest, then we grab the dragon. And then just like with the fan chest and Misty Bog, we go swipe, swipe, swipe. Then we jump down, chest, boom, into Wild Flight. Wild Flight is maybe the toughest flight for beginners. So if there's any flight that you want to apply my rule for beginners of just do a route that you feel comfortable with and don't worry about the fastest route, this is probably the one, because the fastest one I'll show you right now it can take a while to learn. In fact, I didn't learn the most optimal path in Wildflight until this year. That's not even a joke. I was taking unoptimal path. I was taking an unoptimal path that was losing me 2 to 3 seconds in every single wild fight up until this year, and I've been speedrunning the game for 3 years. So trust me. Trust me, learning the most optimal flights is not important. Unless, unless you're losing like an insane amount of time, you can afford to lose a few seconds on every flight and still be okay, so long as you feel comfortable with the flight route that you're doing. As you can see, a lot was happening. So it's understandable that you can feel uncomfortable doing this route. What you do after finishing a wild flight is you would press to retry, you guidebook to Misty Bog, you'd exit level. But I'm actually going to show you a few things that you can do to make wild flight easier. Now, does this, take this advice, apply it, see if you find it easier to do wild flight. But if you still struggle, that's okay. Again, that's okay. Just practice it. My advice, of course, is to just practice it. Take this advice into account. But I'm going to show you a few things. First things first. With this section here, with this arch upcoming, it can be very annoying to hit the boat whilst holding glide the whole time. So don't hold glide the whole time. Just charge down. Just charge down and hit him. It's completely fine to do that, and you can reinitiate your glide in time without dying. It can be annoying, this chest here, just land on the platform. Take your time, turn. It's okay to take your time. You can hit that first plane as well that you saw that was out of reach for me. You can hit that first plane. Clear everything here. Feel free to ignore planes in order to clear up all the chests first as well. Because at the end of the day, you can always go back to hit a plane. You can't really go back to hit the chest as quickly. As you can see, that was 6 seconds slower, but that was still much better than if I had failed the flight. It's much better to get a time that's even 10 seconds slower, 15 seconds slower than to fail the flight. In fact, let me just show what I mean here with this final section. Oh, never mind. Let me just show what I mean here with this final section, with prioritizing going for the chests over the planes. So you'd obviously do this. If you ignore all the planes and just go for the chests first, you would still clear everything in this tunnel, right? Because they're right in your way. Ignore the plane. I'm ignoring the planes. Make sure you get all the chests. You see, these planes are just in your way. You can still do this. You see? And then you get all the planes. That is much better than if you miss one of the chests or if you fall into the water. So that's my advice for wild flight. My advice is to do the chest and then do this tunnel first. Do this tunnel first, and then go for this chest, and then start focusing on the planes. That's my advice for if you're beginning. But again, do the route that you're comfortable with. That's just my advice. Either way, after you finish Wild Flight, we guidebook back to Misty Bog. Now, boy, if you thought I waffled on about Wizard Pete, get ready for Treetops, because oh my god, there is so much you can talk about in Treetops. I'm gonna not talk too much about it, but there is a lot. Grab these 2 green gems and flame this guy. Stick to the right because there's a 10 gem right here. So we have options in treetops, okay? We have options. I am not going to go through every option because it will take so long to explain all the different routes. I'm going to show the most optimal way, and then I'm going to show the backup for the most optimal way. That's all you need to know. Just like Wizard Peak, how I showed the optimal Wizard Peak, and then I showed the backup of Wizard Peak. That's what I'm gonna do. I mean, in Wizard Peak also showed I guess it's like the noob crap of, oh, do the Lucas Hill standard. And I showed it so that I could say don't do this, but in this case, it would take too long to show all the different ways you could do different supercharges that I don't recommend. So I'm just gonna show the fastest and then the backup. So right at the start, there's really nothing to comment about the start. You just wanna hit the monkeys, grab the gems that are in your way, grab the monkeys that are in your way. You don't need to get that guy on the right, don't worry about him. You grab the key here, jump up and flame those two. Make sure you charge jump that second monkey there, because if you just try and charge normally, his banana will hit you. Pause. And then we're just gonna go grab the dragon. Lyle. Now, this is where the superchargers begin. Look, I mean, if you're learning Spyro 1, you're expecting there to be simple superchargers for treetops. You're not learning Spyro 1, you're learning a complete different game. Because the whole design of treetops is to have complicated superchargers. So how do I explain this? So, the idea is that we're going to take a charge that involves us starting it, jumping up to the right here, then we jump down to down there where the key chest is, where we do a turn, hit the key chest, and then we're going to go up the stairs and hit the thief that is over there. We're going to kill him early. Now, if you know, see that island all the way at the back? That thief is trying to path to get all the way over to that island. We can kill him before he gets to that island, but only at one spot. He has like one frame where he doesn't have invincibility. Every other moment he has invincibility until he gets to that island. One frame of no invincibility, and we can kill him on that frame. Let's see if I can do it. If I can't do it, then it's going to be really awkward. Awesome! Oh my god, I'm so beautiful and awesome and beautiful and handsome and amazing at this game. So let me explain. We initiate the supercharge on the left side of the platform to give myself more space to do this jump. The amount of gems that you collect there does not matter. You jump down. I like to drop down and instantly start hugging this wall. As you can see with how Spyro is like turning to the left, I'm really hugging this wall. As I reach this vine, you see this vine here that Spyro's clipping into? As I reach this vine, this is my cue to start turning to the right. I start turning to the right because I'm trying to hit this monkey. Now, if I miss this monkey, it's not the end of the world. Because the most important part to this is hitting the key chest. If I miss the monkey, it kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. If I miss the key chest, this run is looking bad for me. If you miss the monkey and you miss the key chest, it's okay. You can just recover it. You can just go back and get it. I go up the stairs. If you've done everything right to this point, the thief will be following you up the stairs. And what we do is, as soon as he jumps up onto the final step, I jump and I flame and I start turning to the left to make sure my flame connects, and it kills him. That means we get that 25 gem early. And the reason why it's important to get the 25 gem early is because there is a big supercharge incoming. Big supercharge incoming. Now, you may be wondering, what if I can't do that? Like, what if I'm just incapable of doing that? Which is totally normal. if you're new to the game, like you're gonna struggle, then I would recommend doing a supercharge like this, where you just drop down, you still try and maybe take this turn, but just like if you miss the monkey in the key chest, just recover it. Just use the key, let the thief go around. You can even do a different, like even safer version. You can even do a different, even safer version, which honestly, like, I don't even mind if you do. Like, I'm not even gonna like discourage anyone from doing it. Where you can just drop straight down and hit like this monkey, and then flame, and then grab the key chest. And then the thief won't be at the stairs for you. He will be at the island far away by this point. But like, the point is, regardless of what you do, I obviously get the thief here. You hit these two chests, and then you grab the dragon. And now it gets actually difficult. So, I don't even know how I'm gonna explain this. Like, because there's a good chance I try and I just don't even hit. But essentially, you can take a supercharge down here, which involves you hitting that key chest. The two spring chests that are in that tree, you hit them, and then you continue the supercharge through this tree, which is a very, very tight turns. And then you take the supercharge ramp and make it all the way to that far platform. Is that realistic for someone who needs the game to do? No, not at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and do it first of all, but I'm probably gonna fail it, and then I'm gonna show you the safer / backup version. So let's just see if I can do it. Oh my god, I actually almost did it. But you can see what the idea was. If I didn't bonk there, what would have happened is the supercharge would have continued, where I would have charged these two, I would have done the full supercharge jump up here, and then I would have continued the supercharge onto the end here, and I would have jumped up the platform over there. And it would have been sick. So my key advice, I guess, with this is I like to take a really, go all the way to the right, basically, and then start turning in so that I get like this nice angle when I'm approaching it. And then I start holding to the left right after hitting the strong chest to hit everything in there. And if you do it correctly, I mean, it looks great. And if you don't do it correctly, then you can do the backup. So I'll show you the backup, because this is the easier way to do it and the more consistent way to do it. This is what most people's runs look like, where you hit the strong chest here. Let's say you bonk, you drop down, you grab both of the spring chest gems, you go down, you flame this guy, you grab the gems here, hit these two, and then you'd be standing on the supercharged platform right here. Now, Nost covers this in his original tutorial, but essentially this charge that we're going to do here, if you just charge straight off this platform and jump, you can't make it up there. You land down there by the vortex. So we need to do this turnaround where basically we start up here, and then as we approach kind of towards the end, we start turning to the left. And as we make it here, we start turning to the right, and then we jump off, and then we turn around off the platform, and then we land back over here, and then we make it. So I'll show you what that looks like, because I'm sure that sounds way too complicated, like just hearing it. But this is kind of what. Oh yeah, by the way, if you start when you start Supercharge, if you jump and start it, it can give you like a little bit of extra speed, like later on, unless you build up speed. But basically, this is what it looks like. In fact, I did that. I did that very poorly. I haven't done this turnaround in so long. I'm so sorry. I haven't done this turnaround so long, but you get the idea of what was meant to happen. where oh, look at that. I actually recovered it. That's crazy. I did the supercharge through the tree just as a recovery. But yeah, you get the idea where you do the supercharge and then you turn and then you turn, you make that jump, oh huge, and then you would continue the supercharge, jump off the edge, and you make it up there. Yeah, I mean, if you want a point, if you want like a good reference as to when to start turning to the left and to the right, I'll give you a good reference point. Now I'll click that, and I will give you the reference points. So basically, you see these torches on the right? That torch right there is the first one. On the second torch is when you start turning to the left. And as you're approaching the you see the arrows on the supercharge platform. As you're approaching the second to last one, the one that I'm aligned with right now, is when you want to start turning to the left. Like as you're approaching that one is when you want to start turning to the left or to the right, sorry. And then you jump off the edge. Do like fully hold to the right to make the turnaround, and then you just jump across. And I'm gonna say now, as we're jumping here, we're gonna aim for the right side, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend this supercharge. Okay? We're gonna extend this supercharge, and we're gonna hold it all the way through. And I'm just gonna have to do it all in one go because I can't really explain it until I do it. So yeah, okay. I'm just gonna do it and then I'm gonna explain a bit more, but this is what it should look like. You see? Beautiful. That was honestly, that was textbook. I hit all of the fun chests. So again, we do the turnaround. We jump off to the right. If you jump a little bit earlier than I did, you can even land on like an extra 5 gem, but honestly it's not something you ever need to worry about. But we're just gonna try and land here and hit these 2 fan chests. And if you do that properly and you start turning to the left, you can land on the first fan chest that's on like the ground level. Like you just keep holding to the left, you can land on this first fan chest and then you can hit those 2. And if you let go of supercharge after hitting, it's kind of a weird timing. But if you play this game, you know that when you're supercharging, when you let go, it doesn't instantly stop. It goes on for like an extra like half a second. So if you let go of supercharge after hitting the first fan chest here, if you let go at this point, you will still supercharge through the other 2, and it will stop like as you go through the last one. So I'll just play it fully again to showcase it. It looks so clean. And then after you get those 2, what you would do is you would grab these gems, hit the chest, and you would Death Abuse. You would just jump straight off. And yeah, but I'm gonna show one more thing. Because again, it's not 100% fully realistic for me to expect people who are just picking up the game to be able to do that supercharge and be consistent with it. So if you want to play safe, maybe you're on a really good run and you really don't want to risk it, you're like a minute ahead and you're like, I don't want to do that supercharge, it's too scary. Then do the turnaround as normal. Alright. But go to the left instead. And you can bonk here. Now why do I say you can do this? It's because, if you remember, if you didn't kill the thief early, then he would be standing right about here, and you could charge into him. Now, I personally think, this is my personal opinion, if your gem count is good enough, you do not need this feat. Especially if you're a beginner. If your gem count is good enough, you do not need this thief. You can make up the gems elsewhere. But if your gem count is struggling, then don't go for the faster supercharge that I showed and go for this one. Okay? And then obviously as well, like if you're not comfortable with going for the faster one, go for this one. Because what this does is it lets you full hit even if you don't supercharge into the thief. You can still then just like chase him around up here and flame him, you know. And then you can obviously grab these two chests. You can flame the fan chests. You would then obviously drop down and flame all the fan chests down here and grab all the gems. But yeah, if you're not comfortable with going for the fan chests on a full supercharge, or if you feel like your gem count is low and you need the 25 gem that thief gives you, then do the turnaround here on the left, and then you can go after the thief. But I think that covers all the possible options. So just to recap, if you get the early thief on that first supercharge and you're comfortable with going for the fastest turns for the fastest supercharge, then after you come off the platform, stick to the right, go through all of the fan chests, and clean up the bottom section. If you are not comfortable with going for the early thief, but you have a good gem count, then still go around the right side. If you are not comfortable going for the early thief, and you're not comfortable going around the right side, then take the supercharge going to the left, where you come from over there, and the supercharge ends by bonking on this. And then that way you can hit the thief, grab everything, and it is much slower. It is much slower, but you'll be a lot more comfortable. And if your gem count is bad, then I would probably recommend you to do this anyways, because you get way more gems. I mean, you get like 40 more gems from doing all the stuff up here. So yeah. Either way, after you've cleared up everything from up top and down below, you have to beast, as I said. And now we spawn over here. Now, what you want to do is line up with this. See this vine here? This one that I'm walking on? You want to line up on the left side of the supercharge ramp. You want to line up with it. You want to stand on top of it. And we're going to do a turnaround supercharge. And all the turnaround supercharge is when you start supercharging, you do a turnaround. That's all there is to it. Now to do it, we don't just want to start charging and start turning, because as you can see we hit the wall. What we need to do is we need to look forwards. We're gonna jump. We're gonna jump and start a charge, and then as soon as we start the charge, we're gonna start turning to the right. So don't jump and then turn and start the charge. Don't charge and then jump and turn around, because it's a bit weird. You want to jump, charge, and turn around. You see? Very simple. So I'll do it again. You stand on the branch, you jump, charge, hold right all the way to turn around. And maybe wondering, what do we need to do this for? Well, I'll show you the whole thing. Jump, charge, turn right to turn around, and then we make this big leap and we start to glide over. Grab the spring chest, save Jed, grab these gems, grab this spring chest, flame the thief, Finally, we can exit treetops. So yeah, plenty of options in treetops, but doing that 10-round supercharge is way faster than the alternate. So there's no point of even going over it. Especially because the 10-round isn't even that bad to go for. Either way, after exiting, we're just going to hold charge. And then we're going to do this jump here. Go into Metalhead. Metalhead is extremely straightforward. All you need to worry about is cycles. But as I've said before, if you're new to the game, don't worry about cycles. Just try and do everything without dying. So I'm just gonna very quickly just go through what you need to do. I mean, there's really nothing to it. Start off by hitting this guy. There will be someone to the right. Flame this guy. We can flame this guy and leave his gem because we just want to hit that guy and then turn. We can grab his gem here. Now, the one thing there is to say in Metalhead is this: most times when one of the big monkeys throws a metal monkey, the metal monkey gem will home in. That is not the case for this guy. This guy, his second metal monkey that he throws, his gem does not home in. So we need to charge into the second metal monkey. So what's the best way to do that? It's a little charge jump. So you'll see, like that. If you slow down a little bit and then charge into him, or don't slow down, you do a little charge jump, you will always hit that second guy. And it's just to make sure that his gem doesn't get lost. Because it's a free gem to take, I mean, you might as well take it. Either way, we hit the fireworks chest, grab the gems around it, climb up, flame. Try not to get hit like I did, I guess. We grab these two reds, and then we would drop down, grab everything down here, and then we go up, hit, flame. You don't need to grab the chicken, but I'm going to grab it because I don't want to be on green. But after we flame those two, we're just going to grab their gems, hit all the chests, avoid the banana, and then we go and grab the dragon. Now again, as I said, this is all cycle dependent from this point onwards, but don't worry about cycles. If you're new, just go in the order that I'm going in and hit all the pylons as they come up. So this is the order that I like to go in, which is left and then middle, and then back right, and then we stick on the right, and boom. If Metalhead opens up by throwing the first monkey, sometimes you can line it up where even if you have bad cycles, you can line up so that the monkey gets thrown into a pylon, and that way obviously you break pylons and also secure his gem. Other times he'll just throw the monkey and you won't be able to collect his gem, in which case, you know, it sucks, but it's not that big of a deal. After that, we're just gonna collect the gems here, climb up, collect the gems. There will usually be a gem that's on this ledge, but the monkey that he was gonna throw, his gem dropped down, so we already collected it. Then again, follow this order that I like to take, which is going from left, around the right, and you finish with that top left one there. And then all we need to do is just pick up some gems at the end. I mean, I've never seen that guy's 10 gem drop down there, but I guess it can drop down there. And yeah, we literally just have to collect these. And then grab the two chests that are over here. Amazing. We can exit Metalhead. Easy. So easy. And yeah, I mean, we're done with Beastmakers. We got 50 dragons. At this point in the run, you ideally want to be looking at something hovering around 4,900 gems. After you collect these final gems here and go to the balloonist, you want to be anything hovering around 4,900. I mean, anything like above 4,900 is like insane, and anything like even like within 20 gems, like 4,880 would still be really good. If you're below 4,880, then you can still finish the run without going out of your way for anything extra, but it's going to be a bit harder, you know. So aim for 4,890 and above, or 4,900. Um, my voice hurts a little bit, but I think I can finish literally everything else within the next half an hour or so. We'll see if that's true. I might just waffle on. With Dreamweavers, we're going to start off by going to the left, hit this guy, grab the gems, grab those gems there. Gonna flame this guy, we're gonna go to the left, and then we're gonna go into Dark Passage now. If from the very start you did the Sunny Flight route, then you would not be going to Dark Passage. Instead, after grabbing the gems that I just showed you, you would follow on with what I show after Dark Passage. So if you're not doing the Dark Passage and you're doing Sunny Flight route, then just skip Dark Passage. But if you're doing Dark Passage, then obviously look at what I do. I'm gonna go through all of this level in one swift motion so I can show what the good cycles look like. So you grab those two chests on the side, you hit these guys, you grab these gems, hit these two, flame this guy after hitting the chest. Make sure you grab at least the 5 gem from this spring chest, but ideally you want to get both. It's all good if you don't, like I did there. Hit the chest in this order, flame this guy, these guys should shrink. Only go for the right one there. Flame these two, flame this guy. All these guys shrunk in time, and that guy in the back will go big. And we can line ourselves up with, as you can see, we line ourselves up between, wait, he didn't shoot. I think it's fine. You see what the intention was. That we get hit at a point where he's big, so that he shoots at us, you see. We jump it, and it breaks the strong chest. The reason why we do that is because the only other way to break that strong chest is to go through the entire level and flame the firework at the end of the level. It's so long, it takes so much time. That strong chest has really nice gems. So we avoid it, and yeah. I'm just gonna play this again. I mean, there's no secret to Dark Passage. It's just if your movement is good enough, you can do this. If your movement is not good enough, then you will struggle. I think even if you get on the second cycle, like for example, I got to that guy on the fastest cycle. I then let him shrink, and then he went big again. Even if you get to him on that cycle where he has shrunken and then gone big again, I think it's still faster than doing like a standard Sunny Flight route. But it is very easy to struggle a lot of Dark Passage if your movement's not good enough. So that's why people opt for Sunny Flight route. Some people, especially if you're beginning. But yeah, at the start you literally just hold left and charge to go for those two. Then we're just aiming for these guys and grabbing those gems. Here, the reason why I flame him is because if you let him do his animation normal, then he will take too long to transform this guy and you won't be able to charge him. And I like to flame charge jump into these spring chests, but you can just do a regular charge jump into them or flame them normally, but flaming them normally might be a little too slow. And doing a charge jump for me can be a little weird, so I like to do the flame into a charge jump. I was a bit too far away to hit the green, but it's okay if you miss that green, honestly. We avoid all dragons because obviously we don't need dragons anymore. Hit this guy and then go to the right. And then we're just gonna flame that guy. Hit those two. You only need to get the one on the right here just to keep taking the straight line ahead. Flame all these guys. And then yeah, if you're slightly too slow, or not even too slow, you can be like just narrowly reaching the cycle sometimes. And if that's the case, this Jester might make the turtle right in front of you here. You might make him big too quickly. If you're just about good enough to the cycle, you can still miss it. So if you're worried that you're arriving a bit late, then you can flame this Jester here to make sure that that turtle stays small. But if not, then you would obviously arrive here. You'd stand towards the edge of the platform between between the turtle and the fireworks or the strong chest, and then you'd be all good. So yeah, I mean that's basically like the meat of Dark Passage. That's the core. Because what you do afterwards is you charge up here. You make sure you grab everything you see that I'm grabbing, everything in your way. Avoid the dragon. Just hit these chests, and then you charge jump over here. Grab all the gems from the strong chest, and you drop down here. You then ignore these dogs. This goes to the spring chest. Hit the guy. Bang, bang, and then you can quit. Or you can exit right here. And that's Dark Passage. It's very straightforward. It's very quick. You get 270 gems. And yeah, that's why you do it, because it's quick and it gives you a lot of gems. It just requires it has a little bit of a skill check, I guess. You need to have good movement. Or good enough movement. So there's two options that you can do from here. One is take this whirlwind, which costs you 5 seconds. Or it's like 3 to 5 seconds, I don't really remember the exact time. Or you can make this jump. Now, yeah, again, there's a thing called 90 minutes, which, funnily enough, doesn't activate at 90 minutes, it activates at 75 minutes. There's a thing called 90 minutes, and if you had your game open, like in a save, like inside the game, for 75 minutes, then your jumps are boosted, and it makes this jump from here to there super easy on 30 FPS. And the jump is just this. You see? You can just completely skip this whirlwind. It saves you so much time. It's such a simple jump for how much time it can save you. My advice is, if you're new to the game, please just practice this. Like, it is worth learning. You will be so mad at yourself if you get a run that is within 5 seconds of your PB, and you think to yourself, "Wow, I could have PB'd if I just hit Dreamweaver's jump. If I just skip the whirlwind and Dreamweaver, I could have PB'd." You're gonna be so mad at yourself. And at the same time, on runs where you're like a minute ahead and you're nervous and you don't want to go for this jump, you can take the whirlwind, but at least you'll know that you can do this. The way I line it up is directly where I'm facing here. You see this part of the rock formation. This is where I line up. Or you can line up with the crack right here. You see this crack here. You can line up with this crack, but I like to aim a little bit to the right of it. Right here. And yeah, I mean, it's just as simple as doing a charge jump right at the edge of the platform. I mean, right at the edge of the platform, you do a charge jump, glide, and you make it across. That's it. Whether you do this or whether you take the whirlwind, you end up here. You're gonna hit this guy, ignore all of these guys, we'll get to them later. You hit this guy and then hit the guy on the right and then flame the big guy, and then after you flame him, you grab all the gems on the left here. Now, this next jump is 90 minutes only. The other one it was easier if you had 90 minutes. This one you can only do if you have 90 minutes, but it only saves half a second, or maybe 1 second. So it's not required at all. Do not feel obligated to go for this at all, even if you're good at the game. All you need to do is go a little bit to the left, and you can see here on the left of this whirlwind platform, you can stand on it, and you can make this jump from here to over there. You can make that jump. I'll show you. I'll show you in one motion. Boom. See? You can make that. Is it worth going for? I mean, it only saves 1 second and it's very easy to mess up if you're nervous. But honestly, this jump is a lot more lenient than it looks. Like it looks like a big distance, but honestly, the jump is quite lenient. So again, it's just one of those. If you have 90 minutes, practice it. Just see how it feels. But if not, you can just go here, and then you can even go on the right of this one, as you can see. Like that's what you would normally do, is you would land on the right of the third platform to avoid taking it. And then you can make this jump up here. And that saves a lot more time. Definitely jump off the side of that last whirlwind rather than taking it. It saves a lot more time. But yeah, after playing the guy in the cannon, now I can actually teach you something. Did you know if you hold 2 directional inputs whilst on a cannon, it moves faster? So this is me just holding the left stick. This is me just holding the D-pad to the right. Now this is me holding the left stick to the right and the D-pad to the right. Look at how much faster that is. Only left stick and D-pad. Only D-pad and left stick. It's a lot faster. So when you get the cannon here, you'll probably be about here. Just hold left stick and D-pad, the right, flame both, and then jump across. Hit these guys. Bang bang. Grab everything that you see that I'm grabbing. Flame those 2, jump up. Flame the fireworks chest. Grab everything here. Hit these chests, and then you can get into Icy Flight. Icy Flight has some very annoying parts to it, some kind of finicky hitboxes. I'm going to show you the fastest route, but I'm going to give you the best piece of advice anyone will ever give you for Icy Flight. This is the biggest piece of advice anyone can ever give you for Icy Flight. If you're on console, pause, quit, and retry. Why? The cycles are infinitely more lenient. Infinitely more lenient. If you're beginning to learn Icy Flight, the cycles are infinitely more lenient when you quit and retry. So I'm going to show you the fastest Icy Flight route, but again, I only started learning the fastest Icy Flight route this year. So feel free to learn a slightly slower route. Trust me. In fact, I can show you one. But this is, again, just follow the order of what I'm doing with these flights. See if you can get used to them, and if you can't, again, just do a route that you feel comfortable finishing runs with. My nose is actually really itchy, so I might take some bad lines. It's all good though. But yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest piece of advice I can give you of Icy Flight, because oh, I even missed that. But you'll see here, even if you miss that, you can still recover it very quickly. It's just over here. It's really not that bad. But I'll give a few extra bits of advice, obviously. The first one that I'll give, I guess aside from the retry thing. The first one that I'll give is some of these like lanterns or lighthouse. I actually don't know what they're meant to be called, but they have very annoying hitboxes. The main antagonist is this one right here. Sometimes it'll feel like you flamed it and it just doesn't count. My best advice I can give you is flame the right of it, and it will typically register more often than not. You can go through this. Second one is to go on this one, go around the right side. I can feel like it's more intuitive to go around the left side for it to be faster, but going around the right side is faster. Yeah. And then the final bit of advice I can give is I can just go back to where I was at before. Final bit of advice I can give is when you're going towards this like I guess final section here, the way that I did it is like overly like complicated. You can take a much easier path where you flame this guy first and then you drop down and flame that train and then you do this basically. Now, the reason why I don't do that is because Icy Flight is one of the only flights where you can actually suffer from success. You can be too fast to hit the easier cycle, but not fast enough to hit the fastest cycle. So this cycle here is easier to hit, but sometimes when you get good at Icy Flight, you might be too fast for it, which is why I slowed myself down here. But yeah, again, what you do is you go for this guy first, and then you charge and drop down and hit this. Then you go to the right, and then you finish everything off there as seen. But the actual fastest way to do it involves slightly more convoluted, unintuitive routing. But regardless, whichever way you do your flight, quit out when you're done, and we can go to Jacques. Now, I obviously have a ridiculous gem count, but the gem count that you want to look for going into Jacques is about 5,653 or 5,652, either one. 53 is the easier one to make work. But anything between 5,652 and like 59 is like super comfortable where you don't need to adjust your route. You don't you can even avoid skipping things. Anything above 5,660, you should start thinking about cutting out like a 5 gem here or there. And anything below 5,650 is where you need to start thinking about adding an extra gem somewhere. Whether that be taking extra time like on the stairs down to the dragon to make sure you get extra gems, or whether it be grabbing some of the gems right at the start of the level, like to the right here or right after these first few enemies, or grabbing the 5 gem that's just outside Jacques. You're gonna probably have to get extra gems if you have less than 5,650. But I'm just gonna show off the standard Jacques route. So if you have, again, anywhere between 5,652 to 5,659 kind of range, this is just the standard route that you would take. So follow what I do. Here, you jump up, hit this guy, flame, grab these gems, and you can make it up onto the platform before it's fully raised up. That is a very key piece of advice. You can make it back up to this platform before it's fully raised after grabbing those 2 gems. If you mess it up, obviously just go up the normal way with the step over there, but good to know. Hit these 2 chests, just drop down, charge, drop down, grab those 2 gems, grab everything here, flame, hit these chests. Oh, sorry. Hop, have the key, and you can make this jump. So simple, and then obviously you hit that guy. Yeah, this is obviously known as single cake. If you're familiar with Spyro 1 OG, like the original game, then you'll be familiar with this term. It's said a lot more there because it's a lot harder to hit. In this game, it's not hard at all. It's a very lenient jump. Which is why I do not recommend, at any skill level, I never recommend flaming both guys. It's just a waste of time because you can easily make it up here with just one. So that's my advice. Don't flame both of them, just flame one. And again, same thing as the first little platform at the start. If you flame this guy, you have enough time to hit both chests here, turn around, come up, and do this. Obviously, if you're not comfortable with that movement, then from here you can just hit these two chests and then flame, and then go up. But, you know, do what makes you comfortable, but just be aware of the fact that you do have time to do it. Anyways, you'd obviously come up here, flame, grab those two gems, charge, get the key chest. As that key chest is opening, grab the gems over here, grab all of these gems. Now, Jacques, the boss himself, drops 1,000, or 1,000. The boss itself, both what it drops and like the pile of gems at the end, it's 175 gems. So, after you've collected all the gems from the key chest, you can press your guidebook here, and if your gem count in the top left doesn't say 5,825, then that means you need extra gems. A lot of the times I'll get here and it will say 5,823, and that's perfectly fine because those two gems that I'm missing can be this first red gem on the top of the stairs here and the bottom red gem at the very bottom of the stairs. If it says like 500, you get the idea. Like if it goes one below, then you get an extra one, you get one below. It tells you how many extra gems you need. If you need more than 5 gems, then you're probably gonna have to really slow down on these stairs. But the lowest you can have and still be fine is 5,821. Because it would mean you get this gem here, that gem on this step here, and then this gem right at the bottom. You'd get those three. You would get, again, the top one, the middle one, and the bottom one. And that would be those three. That would put you at 5,824, and then there's an extra red gem that auto-collects when you exit Jacques. So, just to recap basically, if you press your guidebook at the top of the stairs, and you are below 5,820, or 5,821, sorry, then take a little bit extra time on these stairs to make sure you get enough gems. But if you're above 5,821, then just go down the stairs normal. We can avoid getting the dragon. You literally never have a reason to get this dragon because you don't need dragons. The only reason you'd ever get it is if you feel like you're gonna fail the Jacques chase, which, you know, if you're a bit more confident in yourself. Anyways, we get here, we flame him, jump. Here's a little fun thing. We flame him, obviously the platform raises, but it's a bit annoying to do this movement. Instead, what you can do is before this platform is fully raised, you can charge and jump through the bottom of the platform there. Isn't that crazy? The whirlwind extends like beneath the platform. So yeah, after you flame him here, you can just charge straight through the bottom of the platform there. It's beautiful. Approach him, and then flame him. He'll give you some gems, obviously. Then we're gonna come up the whirlwind, grab the extra gems here, and then go through the return home vortex. And you should have 6,000 gems. I have a lot more, obviously, because this is a showcase tutorial, not an actual run, but yeah. There's the red gem. See? This red gem at the top of the stairs here, it should auto-collect. Because what you want to do is, as soon as you exit the port, you want to start holding to the left. Yeah, you go to the balloonist with your 6,000 gems, and we go to Gnastys World. Yay. I mean, look, Gnastys World is going to be super straightforward. There's literally zero I can add other than take the fastest route to the vortex. There's nothing else to it. You just have to take the fastest route to the vortex. I mean, there's no gems to collect. There's no dragons, no eggs, nothing. So I'm just literally just going to show you the fastest route to the vortex for both Cove and Twilight Harbor. I might show like one or two like small alternatives if you struggle, but overall, like these levels are super quick. Yeah, I will show the safer alternatives to Cove and Harbor, but honestly, if you've gotten to this point in the run, you should know how to do everything that would be required of you to do the fastest routes. So all we need to do is we need to stick to the left here and just charge straight through. If you hold charge that whole time, he will never hit you, so just keep charging. You do a boosted jump up here, that could be the only part that you struggle with here. But either way, if you jump straight across the water here, you'll see that this enemy that would usually be here is actually not spawned in. So there you go, you save yourself some trouble, you deloaded an enemy. Flame this guy, hit these barrels on the right side, charge jump across, land right here, and you can literally just jump straight across the vortex. You can go straight through. That was super quick, super simple, literally nothing to add. There's nothing I can add. That is as simple as it gets. If you are beginning, you might struggle with the booster jump. That is completely okay. Let me show you the route that loses a tiny bit of time but avoids doing the booster jump. You simply go over here and you can do this jump. You see? Instead of going straight across over there, you turn and you make the jump up here to the bridge, and then what you can do is you go up here and then you turn over here, and then you do everything as normal. Everything is normal. This guy is still despawned. And then... yeah, again, I'll mention again quickly, you want to hit this first barrel guy, you want to hit it on the right side. And that way it hits the final guy there. And with the jump here, again, you just want to land on the sides here. It's very lenient. It's really not scary at all. Either way, you go through the vortex. That's the fastest and the safest ways to do it. And I'm going to do the same thing with Twilight Harbor. I'm going to show you the fastest and the safest way to do it. So, you're obviously, if you did everything I just did with Cove, you're going to enter Twilight Harbor without any sparks. And that's simply unacceptable. You do need sparks to finish Twilight Harbor, so... we're gonna have to do a quick game continue, the last quick game continue of the run. Right as you enter Twilight Harbor, pause, quick game, continue, select. And, yeah, I'm gonna show you the fastest route. Avoid that guy by going to the left, take the whirlwind up. And what we're gonna do here is, straight from this point, we would just turn to the left, and we do this glide. So you can even boost yourself a little bit against the invisible wall. Land on this pole, and then we charge jump across, jump onto this pole. Oh, I messed up. And then if I hadn't have messed up and I still had sparks, I would charge jump, glide across, land on the water there, and then jump up to the bridge. This is actually a learning moment, I can tell you though. If you mess up and your sparks is here, what you can do is jump up to this pole, and then you can still make it. Isn't that lovely? I'll quit game, and I'll do all of that in one smooth motion. And then I can show you the end of the level as well. But, yeah. It's very simple when describing it, but I completely understand that doing this with the nerves of finishing a good run is not fun. I mean, trust me, I have world record in this game. I did this on world record pace. I was pissing myself. I was pissing myself. Anyways, after that, you come up over here, you go to the supercharged platform, you want to just do a charge jump, and you can just extend this supercharge all the way to the end. Super simple. I need to sneeze. That is very annoying that I have to sneeze. Anyways, obviously you would just supercharge and jump into the vortex here, but I will show you the fast but safe version. This is what we used to do. It's only 2 seconds slower, I believe, maybe 3 seconds, but it's still as dangerous, and it can it can cause your game to crash. I must preface this. Your game can crash from dying in Twilight Harbor, and you are more likely to die by doing this version. But yeah, once you're up here, what you need to do, you just charge down, you jump onto this pole here, and what you do is charge jump, you glide across here. When you land, wait. This is the key learning moment. So many people I see do this strat don't do this, and it pisses me off. Please, 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 if you're doing this Twilight Harbor strat, please listen to me. First of all, you can get so much from this glide here. You can get so much extra distance from doing just a tiny bit of a push onto this wall. You can get so much extra distance. Please, when you land, do not jump up instantly. Please do not jump up instantly. You will always get hit, I promise you. Just wait the extra half a second. Just wait for his shot to go away and then jump up. You can imagine, you can imagine if you jump up right now, if right now you jump up, you're gonna get hit and then you're gonna die. So you're gonna be back in the water, you can't recover. Just wait the extra half a second for it to pass you and then jump up, and then from this point you can just, go to the end of the level. You go to the supercharge ramp, you do everything as normal. That is a safer version. So yeah, if you want to play even safer, once you're here, you can even free the dragon if you wanted to. It's completely unnecessary, but what freeing the dragon does is it means that you don't need to do the jump, and the reason why you may want to not do the jump over the dragon is because the hitbox can be a little bit weird and you can get slowed down on it. But honestly, it's not something that you should really worry about. You can do it if you want to be 100% safe. It loses maybe half a second. But bonking on the dragon or accidentally freeing him whilst trying to do a supercharge would lose you more. So, if you want to be fully safe, feel free. After Twilight Harbor, we're gonna go straight into Nort. And I just want to say I've really enjoyed our time together. I mean, getting to know you, wow, such a blessing, honestly. I really hope this isn't our last time. I really hope I see you around and yeah, I really feel a spark between us. Anyways, on to Nork. Final thing. There's only one bit of advice I can even give at the end here, and it's to do with the thieves. It's really the only thing. This first thief, super simple. You can flame him around the very first corner super consistently every single time. I'll show you. You just charge and stick to the right and flame. Easy. This second thief, I will do the more consistent flame first, because I should show what's more applicable to more people first. I like how I say that after a 3-hour tutorial where I've only talked about the hardest strat for like 90% of it. That's so interesting for me. I should re-record this whole thing. What you want to do is you flame him around this second corner. As you can see, That was very simple. All you do is you stay tight to the corners when you flame him as soon as you're turning the corner. So for the first one around this first corner, you see as I turn this corner, I flame, and on that second one, I flame here as I turn the second corner. If you miss him, you can even flame him around this corner. And you might lose a little bit of time, but again, I wouldn't worry about it. As long as you can finish the run, you'll be happy. If you are really trying to squeeze out all the time save possible in Gnastys World, there is a faster second thief. The fastest thief, I call it. And if you go for fastest thief, first of all, it saves you a fair amount of time. But if you miss it, it loses way too much time. For reference, in my world record, if I had missed the second fastest thief, I wouldn't have even PB'd, I don't think. That's how much time it can lose. So yeah, going for if your PB has second fastest thief basically, and you miss it, you're gonna lose 9 seconds. But going for it can be worth it if you're new to the game. Not really. I'm kind of just lying. I just want people to do second fastest thief because it looks cool. Let me just show you what it looks like, okay? So this is the first fastest thief, and then the second fastest thief looks like this. You see, doesn't that look cool? Doesn't it just feel cool to hit both thieves as soon as you turn the first corner? Like, look at this. One, and then second one, two. Oh, I mean, it just looks nice. The issue is, let's say you went for it and you missed this flame, you can't recover it on that corner. You have to go all the way back here. And the difference between hitting it on the first corner and the third corner is 9 seconds. 9 seconds. So for consistency's sake, yes, you are much better off going for it on the second corner because it only loses maybe 3 to 4 seconds compared to the fastest thief. But come on. It's so much cooler to hit on the first corner. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do fastest thief. Unless you have like a top time, really don't bother with it. Is a nice time save, but it's right at the end. You're gonna be nervous if you're on a good run. You're gonna lose runs to it. And just do it around the second corner, honestly, until you have like a sub like 20, until you have like a 26-minute time. Don't worry about it. What you want to do now is you just want to do the north chase as normal. The only thing I can really say is you can do this glide here. If you stay too much to the left, then he can like body block you and then you can fall to your death. Once you just do the chase normal, you can do the jump up here. That's pretty nice. It's a little time save. You can even jump around these corners to save a tiny bit of time. Okay. But yeah, I mean, you just flame him and then you're gonna turn to the right. You're gonna do all this as normal. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's GG.
You're toast, Nor.
I even pressed spacebar to split and muted my audio just to say GG, but yeah, I mean that's the run. Hopefully you'll get a better start time than what this save will say. But if you don't be discouraged. You can always improve it. Yeah, that's it. So I really hope that this video was helpful. I understand that the way I explain things all the time is kind of just me rambling and not making too much sense. And for that I do apologize. But I hope at the very least, just showcasing where you need to go has been helpful. I hope that at least explaining why we do something certain ways has been insightful. I hope that um, talking about the alternate ways to do like Wizard Peak or Treetops or Cove Harbor and the Thieves and Nork, I hope those were all um, helpful in a way that gave you some insight on, I guess, my advice as a top runner, what I would do if I was learning the game right now. Um, Top runner quotation marks. Uh, but yeah, I mean, that's all there is to it. This is Anything NBS. It's my favorite speedrunning category. I know that's a hot take. It's such a hot take, when a speedrunner says that the category that they've spent the most time on is their favorite one. I mean, what a surprise. But yeah, I really do think that it's an incredibly underrated category. It's super beginner friendly. Again, this is showcasing the world record route, the fastest possible route you can take. There's so many other routes you can try. You can do your own thing, honestly. Try and have fun with it. It's super accessible. There's no crazy tricks. I mean, the hardest tricks in the game are like Fairy Proxy is like the only like glitch, and then the hardest tricks are like supercharges, which is just an in-game mechanic, it's an intended game mechanic. So you're not really doing anything that's too crazy. But yeah, I mean, once again, just to recap, my flight advice is to do whatever routes for your flights that you feel like you can be 100% consistent with. And my general advice for gem count when you're beginning is to be safe with your gem count and then slowly start to cut back over time as you get used to it. Like even like if you're new to the game, even like feel free to grab like extra gems that I didn't even mention in this video. Just to be safe. Feel free to go out of your way to grab extra gems if you feel like that's what makes you more comfortable with your route. Um, Please, feel free to practice any supercharges that I said might be too hard for beginners. Like, feel free to try out all the difficult strats if you feel like that's what's going to make it fun for you. Feel free to avoid all the difficult strats if you feel like that's what's going to be fun for you. If you ever make the game fun, don't worry about final time so much, and just complete as many runs as you can when you're starting out if you're looking to improve. That's the biggest advice. Complete as many runs as you can. Try to avoid all unintentional deaths and, flight retries. And yeah, I can't really think of anything else. I guess I'll leave a link to my 2605 IGT run, which has the sunny flight route. I'll leave a link to the movement guide. I'll leave a link to the Spyro Reignited speedrunning server and to my Twitch. I think that's all the things I can think of that I said I was going to leave links to. Maybe there's another. Oh yes, if I do make any more tutorials that can be applicable to NBS, such as a torch jump guide or my world record analysis or a more comprehensive guides for the flight, I'll make sure to add those in the description. But okay, yeah, I mean, until then, hopefully I'll see you around the speedrun.com boards or the Spyro speedrunning server. And if not, that's completely okay. I still appreciate you checking it out, and I hope you find a speedrun that's for you. Yeah, see you.